Say for Lek turned Moonman into a PNG.
Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Celic. I can't really be PNG if I'm not here. I mean, I was here, but I wasn't here. But don't worry, I refunded your points. So, no harm, no foul. It's all good. But now there is a cooldown, so there is that. But anyway, welcome everyone. Glad you're here. Hopefully everyone has had an absolutely fantastic week. Hopefully a great weekend. For anyone that maybe got a long weekend because of the holiday, I hope that you had a fantastic holiday. Some Randev says PNG or Riot. Well, I mean, I actually don't know how to manually
maintaining the Moonwood Alliance for 6 months.
Loki, thank you so much. I appreciate you resubbing. Holy smokes. Wait. They've been subscribed 6 months. I thought I heard it say 4. Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Yeah, way to start off the stream strong. Thank you, Loki. I do appreciate that. Yeah, I'm sure there's got to be a way for me to be able to manually trigger it, right? Maybe. PNG tuber. Yeah, I don't know how to manually trigger that. We're just gonna have to wait until the cooldown ends. So there's that. 4-month streak, but 6 months. Oh, that makes more sense. That way makes way more sense. Well, Loki, I do appreciate you with the 4-month streak for 6 months. Thank you. I do appreciate that. And let's see. It also looks like Celic is at a 7-stream streak. Thank you, Celic. I appreciate that. If you're gonna streak anywhere, streak here in Moonman Stream. Thank you. Welcome everybody. Glad you're here. Glad you are here. Well, yeah, hopefully everyone had a fantastic weekend. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a great one. If you don't, then you missed out on a lot of good food. And yeah, that's all I got for that. Cameron says, I'm just about 4K towards name of the credits. Oh, Cameron, you're getting close. It's a good thing that I don't have a whole bunch of very tempting channel rewards for you to spend your points on instead of getting your name at the credits. So there's that. Let's see here. I have 14 hours left on my sub. Oh, cool man, chill. You're getting real close. And for the low price, $5.99. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do it. But hopefully the ads won't be too bad for you. I hope. Let's see who else we got that I have not responded to yet. Cameron says my team did not win and got knocked out of the tournament. That's not good. I'm so sorry, Cameron. Well, hopefully, I would say next time. But I guess if they're kicked out of the tournament, probably not gonna do. Hopefully the next time, whenever that next time will be, hopefully they do better. Cool Man Chill, congratulations on being first. Glad you're here. And Hootie Hend, glad you're here as well. Congratulations on the second. Not too bad. And of course, Seelick got first. Congratulations on that. Okay, well then, let's see. Yeah, so... Oh, let's see. Check the chord. Art. I'm putting 3k mana on Tails. Oh, that's right. That's right. We do need to do some oh my gosh. I cannot freaking think. We need to do some coin flipping. Oh my gosh. I was going to say tail flipping. I was like, it's not tail flipping. Coin flipping to see if we get tails. Over on YouTube, we got, Bailey, what's up? 9704 says, your game looks super cool. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely trying as hard as I can to make it as cool looking as possible. So hopefully it'll be cool and fun. That's the goal. That's the goal. I'm mad I'm not first. I'm sorry, Hootie Hand. Next time, Tuesday. There will still be a Tuesday. All right. Well, let us, I think we're going to start the coin flip. We're going to start a little early. Yeah, we should be good. We should be good. He's mad he's not first. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. Some Randev is currently on a 5-stream streak. Oh yeah, we'll check this out. Some Randev, thank you so much for streaking in the stream. I do appreciate it. If you're going to streak anywhere, remember everybody, streak here in the stream. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Now I got the points for a coin flip. So there we go. There we go. Yes, you've got a nice fancy 450 points for the coin flip. Not bad. You could turn that into more. I was going to say how many more, but I guess it depends on how many you're up against, and if you win, yeah. So I'm going to cross my fingers for you. Fingers crossed. All right, everybody, let's get this going. Not a poll. Prediction. There we go. One of these days, I'm going to learn what all the little buttons are. Sometimes I forget what the icons all mean. And there's not like text under them. It's just the icon, so I have to like hover over it to actually get the thing to show up. All right, heads or tails, coin flip, and let's start that prediction. 5 minutes. 5 minutes on the clock, everybody. Make sure to get your votes in if you think it's going to be a heads or a tails. Puny. You said it, not me. Like 700 or something. Oh, that's true. Well, but here's the thing. Like, let's say, for example, if you put your 450 points on tails, and then Loki just maybe so happened to put like, oh, I don't know, like 100,000 points on heads, and if you won, I think you get a cut of those points. Like, whatever percentage. So if you were like the only person to bet on tails, and everyone else voted on heads, your 450 points, I believe, would net you every single point on the other end. So, yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe. I need to gamble all of my points to catch up on the name of the credit. I mean, you could win big. You could get your name in the credits multiple times if you had enough to gamble and won. That's the key, and winning. But if there's one thing that I know about gambling, if you're ever down, don't quit. Just keep going, because you got to get ahead eventually. There you go. Words of wisdom for your daily life. If you're ever down while gambling, don't quit. That's when they want you to quit. No one votes tails. That's mine. What coin are we using? I think we're going to switch back to the Google one, because I have lost confidence in my ability to create a coin flipper, which is, you know, absolutely fantastic. I even looked at the code, and it literally is 50-50. It says, pick a random number between 1 and 2. And then whatever one it picks, it then plays the animation and then lands on that coin. So it's like, it literally should be 50-50. But now I am personally feeling like I've not coded a good coin flipper. So I still need to go through, and I need to actually have it, like, you know, generate thousands of flips just to see what is the 50-50 here. So anyway, so we're going to use the Google one. So if anyone loses, you can't blame me. You can blame Google. But eventually we will use my coin flipper. Can we get some head in here, please? Thanks. Some Randev. This is not that kind of stream. No one's giving any of that away here in this stream. Not right now, anyway. Give us till around midnight, then maybe. Things might get a little freaky in here. Who knows? Who knows? I'm raising heads. If I win, I get a decent amount. If it fails, which is high, I lose. Oh. So there you go. It's I believe the term is go big or go home. So if you're not going big, then go home. I would hope you're all home anyway. But I guess if you're watching this not at home, kind of fun. It's a good time. I do appreciate it. Open FA console, type math random greater than 0.5%. Heads, tails. I mean, I could do that. But what's gonna happen? Who knows? I mean, I have a feeling I know what's gonna happen. But wait. Let me I'm gonna turn that off. Nope, that's not the one. There we go, that's the one. All right, we do a little bit of this. I forgot I'm not in command prompt. I don't right click to paste. So wait, what do we got here? Tails. Oh my gosh, wait, what? Tails. Heads. 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 This is what I'm talking about. This is considered random when it comes to computers. Heads, 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 tails. Heads, 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 tails. Heads, heads, heads. I sound like I'm a crazy person. Look at that. Look at all the heads in here. And then one tails. And then heads. And tails. And heads. And heads. And heads. And heads. And heads. And heads. And tails. And heads. And tails. I like that. It's actually a lot of fun. I kind of... Good tier click. Alright, we're done with that. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we could just do it that way, too, if we wanted to. Instead of my whole weird thing. I know that it is 50-50, but it just, yeah. Anyway. Thank you, Summer and Dev, for that. I do appreciate that. I need to get better with, you know, doing random numbers and things like that. Maybe one day. I'm betting 300, whichever had the least at the end. Oh, I like that. That is a good strategy. Greets. Maybe there will be some heads in here. No, I was sleepy for 6 months. Linko guy. Welcome back. I'm glad you're back. I am glad that after 6 months of a hiatus, you are back. You're just in time to the coin flip. We're going to be doing a coin flip. Something went wrong. We couldn't find that clip.
Says, what? AOL male voice / you've got art.
No. Oh, that's true. We do have art. All right, we're going to do the coin flip because it looks like we got 4.2k on tails and 2.8k on heads. So that is just about to run out in right now. It is out. So let us do a coin flip right here, right now. All right, here we go. And let's do a little bit of a coin flip. Everybody ready? Remember, it's best 2 out of 3. We're going to see what happens, whether it's going to be heads or tails. And let's see what happens. So here we go. Got ourselves a... Oh, we got ourselves a tails. We've got ourselves a tails. All right, everybody. We got 1 tails, 0 head. 1 tails, 0 heads. Let's see what happens. Best 2 out of 3. Ooh. How many points is it again? It is 4.2k on heads and 2.8k on tails. So right now, tails. It's looking pretty good for you. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Flip it again. Oh, all right. We got 1 and 1. We've got 1 and 1. We've got 1 tails, 1 heads. It all comes down to this. It all comes down to the wire, everybody. Here we go. I am so super excited. Here we go. Oh, we got tails. We have got ourselves a tails. Congratulations, tails. Well done, everybody who guessed tails. Congratulations to the 3 of you who guessed tails. Holy smokes, that was a nail biter. I am so sorry to everybody who guessed heads, but I promise, like I said, maybe later tonight there will be. Never mind, I'm not going to finish saying that. All right, everybody. Well, let's choose that outcome. We've got ourselves some tails. Complete prediction. Yes, I am sure that it was tails. That is going to be 7,015 channel points that are going to be distributed to the 3 winners. Congratulations. Well done. Complete prediction. There we go. Those are now out in your pockets. And to everybody, again, who guessed heads, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Linko guy! Wait, did that actually do anything? Wait, now I'm concerned. Now I am concerned. Okay, had me worried there. Had me worried. I was like, oh no. Please don't tell me that it's not working for some reason. Yeah. Well, there we go. There we go. Not bad at all. Less smiley. No! Less smiles. Let's see. David says, hey guys! Welcome, David. Welcome. Glad you're here. Linko guy says, no! And Sealuk says, woohoo! I don't know why I said that like I was Mario, but I just imagine that's how you would say. I'm pretty sure you can't say wahoo without saying it like wahoo. Cool Man Chill says no, and some Randev is very happy, very happy. This is why I don't go big. I am so sorry, but hey, you can't only win. Sometimes you have to lose, and when you lose, that makes your winnings even better. I was going for inspirational, and that just sounded like a bunch of nothing burgers in here. Well. Again, congratulations to the winners. 3k mana gone. I'm so sorry, Cool Man Chill. I'm so sorry. I promise, though, if you watch the stream, I will continue to distribute the points. I promise. I promise I will. Man. Welcome, Mathra. I'm glad you're here. I just got 700. Hey, see, look, that's not bad. Guys, it's rigged for tails. We can't keep saying it's rigged. But hey, just watch. The next time, on Tuesday, everyone's going to guess tails, and it's going to be heads. I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. That's what's going to happen. Remember Gamblecore? Was that one of the last Mohicans? If not, I don't remember. I gained 733, but spent 300. Not bad. It's not bad. So I had a net gain of 433. I think you get your points back as well. I thought so anyway. Maybe not. Maybe not. But still, 433. Not bad. Not bad at all. Balogba says, I've never lost anything in my entire life. This is untrue. Wait. I've never lost anything in my entire life. This is untrue. I believe it. I'm so confused. Wait, what? I've never lost anything in my entire life. This is untrue. Balogba, you've got my brain jumping through all sorts of crazy hoops to try and figure that out. Yeah, you confuse me. That confused me too. I'm watching AFV. Oh, any good ones? Any good ones? I miss the old AFV. I feel like back in the day, AFV used to be so good. And now everybody's got a smartphone and can record just literally anything. And I feel like now there's just a whole bunch of garbage. I don't know. I phrased that really badly by accident. That's fair. That's fair. Hey, you know what? It got us talking, and that's half the battle. I'm calling it. Everyone's gonna guess tails, and it's gonna be tails. That's possible. Just literally everyone guesses tails, and then everyone just gets their points back because it was tails, because it is rigged towards tails. I have decided. All right, everybody. Well, if you remember from last stream on Thursday, we talked about looking into replacing the current combat system, and not completely. And so for anyone who didn't hear about that, I will very, very quickly go over it. So I know that kind of the identity of this game, this project, is the blackjack combat. I know it's not all of it, but I know it's a big part of it, right? And so I don't want to completely gut that. But I was trying to think of ways. I was like, how can I make the combat more engaging, more exciting, a little bit more interesting? And finally, I landed on the idea. Actually, let me just check and make sure that this is actually turned on. Parallel process. Okay, cool. Good. Yeah, so I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, how am I going to make this thing a little bit more exciting, engaging, fun, and just trying to figure this out, right? And so basically what we decided, or what I decided and finally ended up on, was this is what the new combat should, in general, look like. So basically, let me explain what's going on here. So when you enter combat, and again, this is very much so work in progress, so it is not complete. Normally there would be a monster up here, right? And all the combat stuff. Oh my goodness, I did forget the ask. I've forgotten so many people's asks. All right, let's go check out Discord really quick. That is my bad. I am so sorry. All right, let me pull this up really quick though, because I cannot remember if I was in a DM with someone. Nope, I'm in creator corner. Oh my gosh. All right, and also I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna have a lot to catch up on. So I think, okay, so we did see. I saw this, but I didn't react to it. All right, we're gonna react. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna catch up really quick, and then Loki. I promise we're gonna get there. Because you wanted me to be in. Was it creator corner? Okay, I think you just said check the cord. So we're gonna find it. We're gonna find it, Loki. We are going to find it. All right, let's see. So we got Protocap. Hey, just dropping off a thing I was working on for a bit. Ooh. Police are gaining on us. No, get out of there. You didn't think it'd be. While you were looking behind you, you noticed there was a gun in the back too. What's the plan? Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. I want to play this. Fire a warning shot. No, don't kill him. Don't kill him. Oh my gosh. This is a different game, kind of game now. But I did put a bunch of art into this one. Oh my gosh. What? Okay, I like that. I like that. That was a very, very good scene. I love that. Let's see here. Another one from Protocap. Still working on NPCs. Brain, but it's getting there. Ooh. All right, it is very small, and I would make it larger, but here's what happens when I make it larger. It, oh, wait. Never mind. Okay, but I can't quite tell. I can't. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Okay, you're gonna see stuff. Woo, stuff. There we go. There we go, like a little bit of dish. Oh, what is happening? Why is it going so slow? Why is it going so slow? I can't tell. I can't tell if that's Discord. Yeah, it's like when I was in full screen, it was being all jittery. That was weird. Huh. All right, never mind. We're not gonna do full screen. For some reason, it's making it all jittery. This is really good looking though. I do like that. Yeah, very well done, Protocap. Very well done. Let's see. We got some Christmas music from Axel. Oh, Axel. I am very excited to listen to this tomorrow. I'm going to preemptively heart it though because I already know it's gonna be fire. Yeah, I'm very excited for that one. Okay, let's see. So it's not in Creator Corner. Let's see. Art for me. So from Cameron. Let's see if Oki's. Let's see if Loki's thing is in art. And if it's not, we're gonna keep going because we've got a couple of those we could check. Let's see. So from Airfried, we got some more stuff from the OJ guy. Oof. Beautiful stuff. Which one is traced? Ooh, okay. Which one is traced? I'm gonna say this one. I feel like this one is traced and this one's freehand. Yeah, that's my guess. Traced and freehand. Yep, that's my guess. That's my guess. First one is traced. The other one is freehand. Try to guess everybody in here. Mobile game level challenge. Oh my god. Oh, what? Hold up now. Okay, we got Squidward. That one's easy. Is that Obama? It kind of looks like Obama. Not a clue. Not a clue who that guy is. Oh my gosh, what the freak is his name? Quagmire. We got Quagmire here. We got President George W. Elfbush. We've got ourselves a Peter Griffin, and we've got a very scary looking Homer. All right, so that's everyone but this guy. I have no idea who that's supposed to be. Not a clue. But they all look absolutely fantastic, Chili Jam. Absolutely beautiful stuff. I almost feel like I need you to tell me who the dude in the blue shirt is. Nope, I'm blushing. That was just freehand. Oh my gosh, that was freehand? Holy smokes. That is fantastic. I love it. Yeah, beautifully done. Beautifully done. All right, let's see here. So where would it be? General, maybe? Oh! Something stupid that I'm making for my YouTube channel. Obviously, a shitpost. I mean, fair, but I do like that. I do like that. I love the elf ears on Bush. That is fantastic stuff. Okay, so it's not in there. Loki, I may need you to tell. Oh, never mind. I found it. You don't need to tell me. I found it. You don't need to tell me. Found all of my old lanyards and put them on a corkboard. Oh my gosh. Look at all these. Thundercats, Horizon, PlayStation, TMNT. Don't know what this one is. Let's see. PlayStation 3. A couple DS. Hot Topic. The video game. But what? Oh, Ghostbusters, the video game. God of War. PlayStation Move. Oh, this is so... That's a lot. That is a lot. That is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, beautiful stuff. I wish that I would have done that more often. I have so many lanyards that I got rid of over the years because I was just like, I don't need it. And I would just get rid of it. And I wish I hadn't. I wish that I had not, because I feel like it would be really fun and cool to have something like that. So, I'm jealous of you, and I salute you. Very nicely done. Very nice. Moonwood, those are not fantastic. They are just made as a joke. You know I can do better. I know you can, but I still think they look absolutely fantastic. Okay, here's why I say they look fantastic. They look fantastic because they are reimaginings of characters, and I feel like the craziest thing is that you have taken their, that's not bad, you've taken their likeness enough, but then changed it. I'm trying to think of how to word this. You've taken the likeness of the characters, but then you've changed them enough to where it's like, if you were to look at them from a distance, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's you know, that's Peter. And then you'd zoom in, and you're like, that's not Peter. That's not Peter. But like, it looks close enough to Peter, you'd see it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's Peter. So yeah, that's why it's fantastic, is because you've captured the what makes them so iconic, but then change them to where it's like your own thing, but people can still see it and be like, oh yeah, it's Squidward. But it's like, you look at it and you're like, well, it's not Squidward, but it is Squidward. It's like, that's not Obama, but it's Obama. And you're like, this is that one blue shirt guy, but it's not that blue shirt guy. You know? You can really tell who everybody is except blue shirt guy. I have no idea who that's supposed to be. Anyway. Okay, cool. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Love it. Love it. One of these days, I'm gonna get better at keeping up on the Discord. This is not that day. But one day I will get better. Yeah. Bush will be the one of Santa's helpers this year. He told me on his told me on a dream. Oh my gosh. Okay, that would make more sense. He's a Santa's helper elf. Okay. I also have a couple. I had duplicates and some I am sending to a friend. Loki, you are just an absolutely fantastic guy. I'm that friend, right? You're sending me your most valuable and cool ones, right? Fun fact, the character I showed off is a Varial, and she has extreme social anxiety. Ooh, well, that's not. I mean, the social anxiety is not fun, but that is like an interesting personality quirk to have, and I like it. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Okay, yeah. So the combat, we are going to be reimagining it, you might say. So basically, here's the general idea of how it will work. When you go into combat, it will draw 13 cards for you, and basically the way that it's going to work is I wanted to try and make the combat more engaging, more exciting, less up to chance. Because as of right now, blackjack is it's a chance game, right? And everything that I tried to do to make it less of a chance game, it never really actually fixed anything. It was always just very luck based, and it was very, if you just had a bad hand after bad hand, and the monster had good hand after good hand, you would just die, and it would be extremely frustrating. So I was like, okay, well, if we're going for roguelike kind of gameplay, I want it to be more skills based. So I was brainstorming, trying to think of ways to make that better, and basically the way that the place that I landed on, and we're going to see if this actually plays well and if it feels good, is this right here. So basically, when you start your turn, you will draw 13 cards. That is because 52 is divisible by 13 4 times, and so yeah, so it's basically you'll be able to do 4 hands with a single deck before you then have to reshuffle it. So you can kind of maybe do like a little bit of card counting if you want to go like extra crazy and like understanding what is actually in the deck, what you've actually played, what haven't you played, what you could potentially see coming in the future. So that is kind of the general idea. So 13 cards, and then basically the way that you will play is going left to right. You are going to be lining up the cards to create your hands. So each one of the monsters, same thing. The monsters have their armor class that they will have. So like say, for example, if a monster has a 15 armor class, you have to have like each sequence has to be at least a 15 without going over 21. So I finally have the actual dragging and dropping working for all the cards. I did find a bug, and I'm gonna have to fix it, but technically all of this is working. So basically the bug is if you pick up a card and go really fast, it stops sorting until you go back to this spot, and then if you go fast again, then it stops. It still sorts if you go back to it, but if you move too fast, yeah, yeah. I think I know how to fix it. It was a bug I found, and I was like, ah, crap. So it's just the way that I built it out. It's not quite there, but I've got all the pieces that I can then set up later. So anyway, so basically the general idea is you are setting up these sequences, and so, so if a monster had an armor class of 15, you need to make sure you're getting at least 15. So at that point, you're then having to decide, it's like, okay, am I trying to make the sequences as close to 15 as possible? Because you have to get at least 15. It's 15 or greater under 21. And so, you know, say for example, you could be like, okay, there are 15, so let's get an 8 over here, and let's get a 7 over here. There you go. That's going to be a sequence of 15. So you're like, okay, well, here's a jack, so that's 10, and then let's grab a 2 and a 3. There's another sequence of 15. And you basically build it out like that. So you got 15, here's 2 10s, that'd be a 20. And yeah, so you're trying to optimize the amount of times you can attack without making sure that you're potentially accidentally busting. Because if you accidentally, you know, through, let's say, for example, instead of an 8 here, if you accidentally just put a 7 here and you miscalculated it and you're like, okay, well, there's 15, and you're like going along. Basically, the idea is it would pick up the 7, it would pick up the other 7, that would still only be 14, instead it would pick the next card in the sequence, which is a 10, so now you would be at 24, you would bust, and then you would basically lose this entire hand, would be gone, and then the monster would attack. So, that's kind of the idea of it. There's a few extra things, you know, say for example, like if all of the cards in that sequence are of a single element, then it will cause some kind of like elemental debuff on the monster. So if I were to do, you know, so this would be a 17. So if I did 2 hydro in the sequence, then it would be strictly hydro, and so then it would put the hydro debuff on the monster. And, you know, so then you would be able to line up a weakness, which with the weakness of hydro is going to be necro, I think. Sure, because let's see, because pyro. Wait, no, because hydro is strong against pyro. Pyro is strong against geo.
_Benedict Jade 5.
Now I can't think of it.
What? Sup nerds, it's your boy, Christmas in November. I'm in crippling debt due to my horrible gambling addiction and need your help. Please leave your credit card number, date that's on it, and those silly little numbers on the back, and I'll back it all on 31 black.
Sweet, absolutely. Yeah, let's get on there. Here you go. Just type that in there for you. We got ourselves a use it well. Use it well. I'm gonna feel really bad if that's someone's credit card information. I feel really bad, but give it a shot. Give it a shot. If you somehow can get someone's credit card with that, you've got a couple hours before it expires. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, Axel, welcome. Glad you're here. Glad you are here. One more thing, and then I'm off to bed. Oh, yes. Oh wait. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to catch up back on chat. Let's see. I did get rid of a few ones. Okay, so I did read that one. Wait, no. Only ones I had because of work and didn't actually want. I let the kiddo pick from them and threw away the rest. Fair. Bush will be one of Santa's helpers this year. He told me in a dream. I also have a couple. I had a couple duplicates. Okay. Oh my gosh. So I hadn't read you. I'm so sorry, Loki. I'm so sorry. Fun facts, the character I showed. Okay, so I read that one. Let's see, like Komi Shoka, she uses a notebook to speak, or her soul-linked boyfriend. I do remember you telling us about that one. I'll see you, JK. Let's see. One more thing, then I'm off to bed. Yes, absolutely, Loki. What you got for us? What have you got? Hootie Hen says, seriously. And Summer Dev says, wait, how? My credit card. I'm sorry. I know you entrusted me with that, and I promised that I was going to be good, but I gotta share. Yeah, it worked. My one thing is in the cord. Oh, well then, let's go check out the cord. Guessing in off topic. Hey, there we go. Deciding to change my build. My Asus case was missing a top/bottom panel, and Asus is being really shitty with customer service. Been waiting for almost 2 weeks just to know if they have a replacement panel. Not even asking for it for free, even though that would be nice. I was willing to buy one, but they have me. They gave me the runaround, so I'm removing all Asus products from my build. That is fair. Yeah, if they're going to give you the runaround, that is completely understandable. Very frustrating they're doing that. But, oh my goodness. That is a beautiful looking case. I'm assuming it's a mini ATX tower, yes? Because that looks pretty mini. And that is going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh. ITX, sorry. ITX, yes. Jeez, yeah. Wait, what? Wait. You can buy just like a little screen for like 35 bucks? I need that in my life. Hey, there we go. Wait, what does she do? Or is she just on the case? Because either way, it's only $75? Oh my goodness. I feel like I need to be building this exact same build. 50 bucks, a couple extra fans. Hey, very nice looking GPU. Loki, I'm jealous. You're building this for me and then you're gonna send it to me, right? Right? If someone built me this computer and sent it to me, I would have a 24/7 hour stream, and I would just have a camera pointed straight at the computer, and it would just be of the computer running. There we go. That's what I would do. That is what I would do. Who spent $574 on novelty plastic fruit they put in a hotel? No one. Absolutely no one. Stop right there. Just stop checking your credit card for the next day. You'll be fine. It's gonna be fine. They're not gonna max it out. They might get close. No one's gonna max it out, I promise. It's an AIO display. Oh, gotcha. And then a Miku GPU backplate. Obviously, you gotta have the Miku. I'll send you pictures. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see them, Loki. Yeah, thank you for sharing those. And yeah, I'm excited to see the finished build. Hopefully, it'll be a much better build than anything with Asus. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Jesse says, Cheeto is strong against everything. He very well might be. Nope. Not if you can actually set up your own combinations. Let's see. Hima Habet says, well, hello, sir. How are you? I just got a new friend. They tell me to write everything, even the possible one that I imagine for my game. They tell me that I should do that because I'm new on dev. Well, first of all, glad you're here. Yes, 100%. If you have any and all ideas for anything, like literally anything, whether it is for a character, a storyline, a fun mechanic, anything and everything, if you think about it, write it down. Don't write it down later. Don't tell yourself, oh, I'll remember it. Don't, like, none of that. Don't ever assume that you will have time to write it down later. Don't assume you'll remember to write it down later. Don't even be like, oh, I'll be able to write that thing down in 2 minutes. It's gonna be fine. Pull out your phone, pull out a notepad, whatever it is you can write on and take a note on, write down whatever it is that you're thinking. The amount of ideas that I have let go on accident because I was sitting here thinking about it, brainstorming in my head, and I'm like, oh, that would be really cool. That would actually be a really fun mechanic. I'm gonna write that down later. And then later comes around and I'm like, crap. What was that dialogue? What was that character? What was that idea for a game? And yeah, so I would 100% recommend, whether you are a new dev, an old dev, anywhere in between, if you have an idea for anything, write it down. Because as soon as you don't write it down, you're going to forget. And it'll be a dark day because you'll remember that you had an idea. And you will try to jog your memory and you will never remember the fine details. Maybe you'll remember some of it, maybe some overarching things, because I'll do that sometimes too. I will remember the basics of it. I'll remember just a little bit here and there, but I can never piece all the pieces together. And then it's just like, well, there goes that idea. It's gone. It's over. I got nothing. I've got nothing. So yeah, that is what I would recommend. I would highly recommend writing anything and everything down. If your friend has suggested that to you, they are 100% correct on that. Very much so. Okay, let's see. Let's go check art. Oh, this is Avril's boyfriend. Grafmere. Ooh, okay. I like how it's got all the pants stuff going on as well. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, beautiful. Are these ears? I'm assuming ears, based on their placement. Yeah, very nice stuff. I wasn't sure. I don't think they're like horns or anything like that. I'm assuming ears. Yeah, very nice, very nicely done. Absolutely beautiful stuff. So Jam says, Moonman will just be looking like this midstream. Me, Cameron, and Summer and Dev are watching him. I sneak myself in though. I don't give you guys that look. Never. I've never looked like that before in my life. Not in a million years. Also, you forgot the microphone right here. You forgot that. So I'm a little disappointed. I'm very saddened by that. I know that I don't use it, but I'm very saddened by that. Also, I wish that I could grow a mustache like that. This right here, this facial hair you're seeing right now, This is literally like a week and a half of not shaving. And this is what I got. Yeah, that's how long it takes. I get this little bit of stubble going on after about a week or a week and a half of not shaving. I'm pretty sure that the last time I shaved, okay, I think it's been a week. I think it was last, no, it wasn't even last Sunday. I think it was like last, so not this last Thursday, but the Thursday before that. I think I shaved on 2 Thursday streams ago. And obviously, like, I've cleaned up the neck a little bit, but yeah. Maybe one of these days, maybe when I'm 40, I'll be able to grow a nice mustache. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Let's go. I got fan art. I'm the orange one. Oh, sounds like some Randev has picked. You're the pink one. There's nothing wrong with being... Oh, well. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being the pink one. The pink one looks fantastic. That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for that. I do appreciate that. We snuck in via back door. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, is that here? Nope, that's from another one. I'll just react with milk. There we go. All right, everybody. Well, let's get in here. Let's take a look and let's do some stuff here because, like I said, I've got the bare bones in here for the new combat system. We need to finish it up. So, like I said, we've got it to where you can pick up the card, you can move it around. Everything's good. Everything's great to go there. Fantastic. But here's what we do not have. We do not have any way for it to do things as of right now. So, yeah, let's do that. Can we do another coin flip? Hootie, we can't do 2 in the same hour. That's too many coin flips. Maybe later tonight. Maybe as the stream goes on, we will do another coin flip. Maybe in an hour. Maybe in an hour we will do another coin flip. I'll see. Brian Frankfurt over on YouTube says, "Hi, how's it going, Moonwood?" It's going great. I had to reread your message just in case. I didn't want to get it wrong. I'm doing great. It's been a long weekend, which has been fantastic. It's going to be very difficult to go back to work tomorrow. I'm going to say that right now. It sucks going on an extended weekend away from work because, yeah, it just makes it an absolute nightmare to be able to jump back into work. But, yeah, it's been good, though. How are things going for you? Yeah, life's been busy, but it's been good. It has been good. So hopefully things are going well for you as well. Okay, so basically the way that it's working is this is the whole initialization. So this is actually, it shows and moves the cards. This is making it so you can actually pick up the cards and no, this is just picking up the cards. And then this is the moving of the card. Nope. That is not. This is the putting down of the cards. And then over here, this is the movement of the cards. Yes. So this is having to take into account the left and right side of every single card. Basically, all it is doing, so right here, this is card number 2. So it's basically just saying, if the card to the left is empty, move to the left. If the card to the right is empty, move to the right. Because that means whatever card you've picked up, it's going to be either the card to the left or the right. So I think what we could potentially do, actually, I don't want to mess this up, but I kind of wonder. So I'm going to make a copy of that just to see what happens. All right, so that is the copy. That is the backup. I wonder if I were to take this, and if I were to take out all of these mouse coordinate conditions, I wonder if that would fix the quick movement kind of thing, you know? Because this technically should not do anything. Yeah, it technically shouldn't do anything unless the card slots are empty, which the card slots wouldn't be empty if you haven't picked up a card yet. But if you've picked up a card, then yeah, I think maybe, or I'm just gonna pick up a card and it's gonna go just absolutely haywire, crazy off the rails. I guess we'll see. That is why we've made a backup though. So just in case this does not work well, then we can just revert back to that old event and we'll call it good there. And I'll later off stream trying to figure out what's going on and how I can make it so even if you move the card really fast, it will still actually move the other cards around. Well, let's see what happens here. So that, delete that. There we go. Okay, so we should be able to hit OK and save that. Let's see what happens. I do worry. Let's see what happens. Oh boy. Crap. That's what I thought. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Dang it. Yeah. Wait, what the freak just happened? Oh, so it just throws it to the end. Yeah, that's not, it's not. I was like, maybe. But no. Nope. Okay. Cool. Well. Yeah. I'll figure it out. All right. Let's delete that. Let's bring this one back into play. Cool. All right. So basically what we need to do is we need to get the actual attack going, because we need to actually have it go through and kind of, you know, put I need to figure out the actual terminology for this whole system. We'll figure it out. I think kind of what we're going with is, I'm going to throw in a note right here, just so I can remember all the terminology. So, hand is the 13 dealt cards. You've got the discard, obviously, you know, that is going to be the discard pile. You've got the... No, it wasn't called the draw pile. I mean, we could just call it the draw pile. The deck. That's what I wanted to call it. The deck is going to be the draw pile. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to call it sequences. Whoops. Sequences. The sequences are going to be the sections... Oh my gosh. I can freaking spell. Sections of cards greater than AC and less than 21. I think that's basically all the terminology we would need. So yeah, so your hand are the cards that actually draw at the top, those 13 cards. You got your discard pile, you've got your deck, and then the sequences, yeah, they're the sections of cards that are greater than the monster's AC and less than 21. Pretty sure that's all the terminology we would need, because everything else is basically the exact same. It's like you got bust, which is you're going over 21. Yeah. All right, cool. And if there's any more terminology, we can add it there later. So that should be good to go there. Okay, so now over here, this is the section right here, the attack section that I've kind of started on. So what we have right now, so I've just basically made it so if I pull up Photoshop. So I've basically just made it so when you click up in this section here, it just attacks. Like that's all we got going on right now. It's nothing too crazy. You click up there and it executes this attack thing. Eventually I'll probably, I don't know, add some kind of button or something, but we'll get there eventually. Brian says, I'm playing some Magic the Gathering, losing, but it's fun. That sounds about the way that I play Magic the Gathering as well. I play it, I lose, but I still have a good time. It is still fun. That's cool though. Are you playing with a group of people? Are you playing on, oh my gosh, what the freak is that one called? The Magic the Gathering game on Steam? Okay, Magic the Gathering Arena. Nice. Yeah, that one I do enjoy. It is a lot of fun. Yeah, very nice, very nice. It's been a while though. It has been a while, and I feel like I would do absolutely horrible at it. But hey, as long as you're having fun, that is what matters. That is what matters in the end. Let's see. Cameron says, Grafmir is an elf, but he is a special elf. Oh, nice. Okay, so those are ears. They're just very big ears then. I'm assuming then. If he's an elf, but a special elf. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Okay, so the first section here is going to take into account the royalty cards. So basically, if the card is... what would it be? If the card is a royalty card, yeah. So if it is a jack, queen, or a king. The reason why we have to do something like this little loop function here, is because if you have a jack, queen, or a king, right now it just has its variable ID. So let's come back in here into the game, and we're just going to kind of show you what I mean. So it draws all the cards. You know, you got your ace, you got your jack, your ace, queen, jack, all that fun stuff. So the great thing is that all of these other number cards are the variable ID that they have is equal to the value that they have. So the 8 has a ID of 8. So it's very easy to just be like, okay, cool, that has a value of 8. But when it comes to the face cards, the jacks, the queens, the kings, they have different values, is because I can't just say, even though they have a value of 10, they have to have a different ID to actually show the correct card, so I can know if they are a jack, a queen, or a king. The reason being is because if they are, like, say, for example, the jack, if I come over here and I will just kind of show you, we've got the hand card value. So this would be hand card value, even just this last one. So that's card number 13, this one right here. So hand card value 13 is equal to 11, and as you can see, the queen is equal to 12. The reason being is because I have to say, you know, the card with the ID of 11 is a jack. So if it ever draws an 11, it knows to draw a jack, and then it shows a jack. But we cannot have that be equal to 11, to 12, to 13, all that fun stuff. So that is what this first sequence right here is basically taking into consideration. So it loops through here. So this is all it's doing. So basically the thing that it does is right here, it just says if the variable 781 plus variable 911, so it's basically saying if variable 781, and then as it loops through 782, 783, 784, 785, if it is greater than or equal to 11, so basically if it is a jack, a queen, or a king, then it will say set that variable to be equal to 10. It's literally all it's doing. Because we already have the graphics for the cards loaded, you can move the cards around without having to change the actual look of the cards. So that's all we're doing right there, is it's just taking those values, those 11s, 12s, and 13s, and we're converting it down to a 10, so the face cards are equal to 10. Oh, let's see, Magma Guy says, well, first of all, first-time chatter, welcome, glad you're here. Says, oh, wow, your game ID is nearly 4 million. Did you just upload it to Steam recently? Wait, it is? I did upload fairly recently. Now I wonder. Now I wonder. Let's see here. Let us see here. We got, Tomb of Vercilias. Tomb of Vercilias. There we go. Does it show the ID? Oh my gosh, it does. Yeah. So 3,941,510. Ooh! Everybody remember that number. That is going to be a very important number. But that is kind of crazy that it has an ID of almost 4 million. That is nuts. Thank you, Magma Guy. I don't know how I didn't even notice that was the ID of it. But I do appreciate that. Thank you. Also, glad you're here. Glad you're here. Yeah, hopefully it will be exciting being here. I hope. There's barely any games over 4 million. Well, there we go. Yeah, I think I uploaded this. It's probably been, what, 2 months now? 3 months since I made the listing? Yeah. There's 4 million games on Steam. Being game dev is so hopeless. It's very sad, but true. Yeah, tragic. There's barely any games over 4 million. I didn't even know any were already there. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, and I don't know if that's necessarily there are 4 million games on Steam, but there's 148,600 games on Steam. So there you go, some Randev. Everything is totally fine. We're so back. We are so back. Yes. I'm scripting all the data. I got the numbers. Oh, well, that is pretty exciting then. Yeah, is that? Oh, you're scraping, not scrapping. You're scraping all the data. Is there a reason for this, or are you just curious and wanting to have that data? Because either way is very valid. Yeah, very exciting stuff. Well, and then you have to take into consideration too. You got Steam, but then you've got places like, you know, you've got Itch, you've got GOG, you've got Epic, all these other places that also have their own exclusives, and you have to throw those into the mix. It's a lot. But that is cool. You do have the data. Yeah. Very nice. Okay, so that's what we got with the face cards, and then we move on then to the aces. So the aces are going to be another kind of thing where we have to adjust a little bit, because the aces have an ID of 1. So if basically we're saying if the card has an ID of 1, then we need to change the variable to equal 11 now, and that is because the ace by default is equal to 11. It only goes down to a 1 if you would have busted. So it's kind of like a wild card, kind of, a little bit. Ooh, actually, kind of made me think, there could be some kind of perk card. Actually, okay, I'm going to take my own advice. I'm going to write this down. Let's throw this guy in here. Add perk. We're going to call this one Aces Are Wild. Ooh, I like that name, actually. Aces Are Wild. Yeah, so basically, make, oh my gosh, the ace cards be equal to any value between 1 and 11, putting the sequence up to a 21. I can't really think of how better to describe that. But anyway, yeah, so you could have a perk card where it turns your ace and makes it, instead of just being a 1 or an 11, it makes it a wild. So that way it can be any value between 1 and 11, making it so the sequence that you are playing is going to be equal to a 21. So if you have your wild ace in there, and say you needed a 7, if you have an ace in there in the very end, it'll then pull your hand up, or the sequence up to being a 21, instead of just being like, oh, well, you're just a 1 now, kind of thing. Anyway, hey, save that. I actually do. I kind of like that. Anyway, yeah, all the fun things we could do with this new potential combat system. Let's see. Magma Guy says, I hate how Steam recommends games as someone who pretty much only plays indie titles, so I made my own system to recommend games, which I'm currently tinkering with. Oh, well, I really like that, actually. That is true, though. Yeah, the Steam recommendations, it does do a pretty good job at recommending games that you, in general, play. And then I would say, actually, the majority is not actually good at all. The amount of times that I've just, like, looked through, because, like, you know, obviously, if you come here to the front, you've got the featured and recommended, which, like, those are always going to be basically nothing to do with anything you ever want or need or anything like that. And then, yeah, and basically, I would say maybe, like, 1 out of every 10 games, as I scroll down, is actually things that I play. Other than that, it's just like, here's something we think you would like, and it's like, to be fair, though, I guess I play, like, 4 games on Steam. Even though I've got, like, a library of, like, 500 games, I play, like, 3 to 4 games, and so it's probably just Steam's algorithm just like, what the freak do we recommend this guy? And, yeah, I like to keep them on their toes. That's what I'm doing. Turns out Steam has a ton of data. I believe it. I can only imagine how much data Steam has got. How much data have you scraped so far? I'm actually really curious to know. I think my Minecraft base idea is going to take a bit to make, but it's at least 34% done, unless I want to add to it. Ooh, Hootie Hen, that is pretty cool. What are you making in Minecraft? Are you making a castle? That's what I always do when I'm wanting to build something grand and crazy. It's a castle. That's always the way that I go. As a Steam stat, I might have it on hand. Wait. Oh, ask a Steam stat, I might have it on hand. Oh, Oh man, now I'm like trying to think of like. Ooh, how about this? Do you have the stat of what is the lowest? What is the worst reviewed game on Steam? Do you have that kind of a stat? And I don't mean just like, you know, there's a game out there that has like 1 review and it's a negative review. But okay, I'm not going to give you that kind of criteria. Be like, find the game with like the most amount of reviews that is also the least reviews. Unless you can find that, because that would be pretty cool to know what has the most reviews, but is also the worst review. I think that'd be a lot of fun to know. Let's see. I recently hit 9K in Steam Q. Games viewed. Oh my gosh. Thought I was close to seeing almost everything. Turns out I've only seen 6%. That's But still, though, 9K is pretty crazy. Not even close. Need to get back into doing it multiple times a day, trying to hit 10K. Very educational for Steam page making. It's true. That is true. I need to do more of that, because I need to update my Steam page really bad. No, I have a bunch of games on Steam, and they really don't care about what you play that much on the front page. Fair. Let's see. I have 32 million unique reviews, 98.6 million reviews. All the games I do. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's see, a tower that is 500 blocks tall in my system of making it, and the pale oak wood, and it's, oh my god, Hootie Head. That is going to be a crazy tall tower. Wasn't that EA game, or wasn't that an EA game or something? I feel like EA would have that title of worst reviewed game on Steam. I haven't paid dedicated to that. It's War of the Three Kingdoms. Oh my gosh, what? 76,000 reviews, 10% positive. Holy smokes. All right. I know we're derailing, but I gotta. War of the Three Kingdoms. Oh my gosh. Wow. That is a lot of downvotes. Holy smokes. Huh. Yeah, that's, whew. Ooh. Oh my gosh. They really tried. They really tried here. They got a few. They got a few positives. It was not enough to outweigh it though. Not even close. Holy smokes. That is a rough launch. That is an abysmal launch right there. 808 positive reviews to 8,700 negative reviews on launch. Wow. And they just kept flooding in. They were just flooding in, which is like, you know, like, what is that? 79 positive to 1,400 negative, 100 positive to 882. Okay, then it kind of started, you know, a little bit more positivity, and then nothing. In every way, shape, or form, the negative has always outweighed the positive. Oh my gosh. I mean, you can definitely tell. Either these are a bunch of shills, which they probably are, but like, I feel like this one probably got the closest. 12, almost 1,300 positive reviews to 1,500, almost 1,600 negative reviews. Almost half to half.
Let's keep him talking.
No, absolutely not. Oh, that is wild, though. That is wild. I'm not gonna lie, there's kind of a part of me that's like, I almost want to try and play this game just to see how bad it is. I'm gonna add that to my library. Nope, don't play the trailer. Well, thank you for sharing that information, because that is just beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh man, the anger of their Chinese community. There. I can link you to the leaderboards page for the best and worst. I would absolutely love that. Yes, 100% send a link for that, because I would love to see that. It's full of these fun stats. I threw any I could think of on there. Yeah, that is wonderful. I would love to see that. Well, it's close to 500 blocks tall, but it's probably lower than that. 10 times bigger than my starting tower that was 50 blocks tall. Man, booty hand, that is a huge tower. No prizes for guessing the #1 game on Steam. It's easy to guess. The #1 game on Steam. I feel like I would make an absolutely horrible guess. I'm like trying to think of what. It's got to be some. I was about to say obscure. If it's the #1 game, it's not going to be obscure. I feel like it's going to be an indie game. I can't think of what it would be though. I can't think of it. I don't even want to try and embarrass myself by guessing. Hey, man, did you hear that Game of the Year awards outed Vedinand as... Wait. Outed Vedinad as Danny Dev? I don't know what that means. Game of the Year awards outed... Who's Vedinad? Is it bad that I don't know who that is? Who's Vedinad? Oh, Megabonk. Okay. I haven't played Megabonk yet, so maybe that's why I didn't know. Vedinad. Okay, all right. Fair. So wait. So what do you mean? So is like Danny Dev... Like, did they make, like, other games as Danny Dev, and then they switched to Vedinad? Or Vedinad? Yeah, Vedinad? I don't know. I don't know what all the drama stuff is. Keep them talking. That's my little website. I'm still making. Ooh, let's take a look. Welcome to SteamRex.io. I hope that nothing bad pops up. Say family-friendly games only, no mature content. Default, all mainstream games, including mature titles like Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077. Includes adult-only sexual games. Everything adult-only. Oh, I definitely don't want to click that on stream anyway. Let's just go with default. We're gonna go with default for now. Oh my gosh, this is freaking beautiful. Oh wow. I am bookmarking this. Because I want to take a look at this later. I'm gonna be sharing this with people. This is amazing. Most reviewed games, highest rated games, lowest rated games. Gosh, this is most prolific developers, top reviewers, shovelware award nominees. Everyone loved that. Perfectly balanced. Everyone hated that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is amazing. Most played games. Okay, I guess I could have guessed Counter-Strike for that one. Rust, Dota, Terraria, Warframe. The least played games? Oh my gosh. Call of Duty. Yeah. Train Simulator. Europa. Train Simulator. That sounds about right. Most hours on Steam? Oh. Most hours on Steam. I'm assuming like logged in or in game, like most games played, because that is nuts. If it's actually 76 games and they've played for 1.62 million hours, only to 76 games, that would be crazy. Best free games? Oh, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, this is fantastic. I like this. The best and the worst. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is beautifully made too. As someone who was going to be a web designer and then dropped out of college for it because I was like, I don't think I can do JavaScript. That looks really good. That looks really good. I like that. I'm gonna have to look around and poke around that thing a little bit more. But yeah, for anyone, I will also post this over on, let's see, let's copy the link. For anyone that would like to check that out over on YouTube as well, I'm gonna post that link. Yeah, that is a lot of fun. Hint is not even close to anything else, not even by a mile. Probably worse, you don't know who Danny is. That is fair. That's fair. Danny Dev is a very popular indie dev. Vetanad made Mega Bomb. I did figure that out. But yeah, as far as Danny Dev goes, I'm a terrible person. All right, I'll admit it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure this out. I make games. Okay, but like what? I get that once you get to a point and you're big enough, like, yeah, maybe you don't have to say what you are, who you are, what you do, but just saying I make games, it's like, come on, tell me which games, though. I'm sure I could research this and figure out later. There we go. Carlson? What the freak is Carlson? What is this? What is happening here? So Danny made Carlson. Oh, it's coming soon. Okay, I was like, no reviews. What is happening? Okay, gotcha. Crazy. All right, what do we got under Danny? We got Crab Game, we got Muck, and Carlson. So what else have they made? Was it just? I mean, obviously, Crab Game was very popular. But like, what else? Okay, maybe I'm just not in the know. And maybe that makes me a bad person. But, don't judge me, all right? Don't judge me. Oh, man. What is the highest rated not safe for work game? I'm not pulling that up on Steam. On stream. Wasn't this known for a long time already? Been seeing speculation about it for months. Well, I'm assuming that if their username was Vetanad, and then they just did Danny Dev, that's literally just the name backwards. So how would people have not put that I feel like people would have put that together already. I mean, maybe you could consider it being outed, but I feel like if you're just going to reverse your name as a very popular person. Here's the thing. If I were to go out there and be like, yes, hello, I am Downum. What would it be? Doonum? Doonum? Okay, maybe Moonwood. Moonwood is not a great one to reverse. But I feel like if I were to just reverse my name, it probably isn't going to keep people too confused for too long. I don't know. Maybe. Okay. Let's see. Speculated but never confirmed. There's lots of tabs in there. They got really nice stuff. It's way more than just leaderboard. Yeah, I'm going to have to poke around. It's okay, Moon. I'll surpass Danny Dev one day, and you'll only need to know my name. See, there we go. Yeah, come on, Sumran Dev. I want you to be the pinnacle already, so I can just be like, yeah, Sumran Dev, I know Sumran Dev, and as long as I know Sumran Dev, that's all I need to know. Because at this point, I feel like I keep getting outed about, these very popular indie devs that I'm like, who? And people are like, just the person who made the most popular indie game ever, and I'm like, that's my bad. He made Crab Game. It's pretty big. I have heard of Crab Game. I've never played it, but I have heard of it. That's it. He's mainly a YouTuber, a very popular one. I did notice that. I did notice he's got quite the following. They're famous because they're the biggest game dev YouTuber. Fair. Not as much known for the games, or like, well, they're very known, of course, but mainly because YouTube. Fair. Yeah. Doonum. Hello, welcome back to Doonum Games. No, that's terrible. Hootie End. That's just weird. Wait, why is that weird, Hootie End? I don't get it. Let's see here. Yeah, so Jesse says Danny is a super viral YouTube dev who basically quit after things got too crazy IRL. That's fair. That's fair. Protocap says, hey, I have a weird RPG Maker problem. I made a timer variable and then copied and renamed everything, but now the timers activate at the same time. It's strange. That is strange. Let's see. So you made timer variables and then copied and renamed everything, but now the timers activate at the same time. So are you using the built-in timer function of RPG Maker, or are you creating timers based off of variables? I'm also trying to think, because if you were to copy, it's like if you were to create a variable, like let's say for example, if we just came down here, let's do 1160. If you were to come down here and like say for example, if you were to be like timer 1, if you were to copy that and paste that and rename it to timer 2, as long as you had the ID of 1142 versus 1141, it should be fine. Now made timers made from variables. Fair. And that's totally understandable because the timers for RPG Maker are kind of terrible. They're kind of garbage. Yeah. So, that's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, I would probably have to see either screenshot or something, and then I might be able to help. Yeah. So as far as yes, you copied and renamed everything. Now the timers activate at the same time. It's strange. So if it's a fact that they're activating at the same time, but they have their own different values, then are you activating them based off of a single switch? It might be the switch that you're activating it with, or whatever is triggering the event to actually start the timers. It could be that. Oh, you said Hend Hootie, not Hootie Hend. Okay, that makes more sense. For some reason, I auto-corrected the spelling of your name to Hootie Hend, even though you said Hend Hootie. I auto-corrected it in my head, and so I was like, I don't get it. But actually, technically backwards, you'd be Dene Itu. Dene Itu is what Hootie Hend backwards would be. But fair. Nope, different switches. Yeah, that is bizarre. Yeah, I'd probably have to see it. But I'm trying to think of how I would see it. I'll send you some screenshots. Fair. Yeah, if you want to throw them in Discord, I could absolutely take a look. And just kind of see. I'll just see if I can notice anything. Probably overlooking something. That's fair. And honestly, the amount of times that I've done that where I've overlooked something and I'm just like, what the freak is happening? And then I finally see it after hours of troubleshooting. It happens. Jesse says, okay, now say Jesse the fish backwards. Let's step this up a notch. All right. So we got Hasif et Isse. Because the J would be I instead of edge. So there we go. There it is backwards. Probably overlooking something. Okay, so now let's see if we can actually do some game dev stuff, shall we? I think so. All right, so aces to 11. So basically what this is going to be doing now is so it loops through and it then just says if you're equal to 1, turn it to an 11. There we go. All right, so now at this point, what is this doing? Card total value plus hand card value. Oh, yes. Okay, so this is actually taking... Okay, yes. So that's the loop, and then it jumps out of here. This is where we need to actually get to. Well played, sir. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate that. Or should I say, Hasif et Ege. I shall say. So, here's what we need to do. We need to take the value of the cards. So 35, so card total value. I guess for testing purposes, we could just add it to that. Yeah. Okay, so here in the beginning, let's come in here. Oh, Monster AC. So we already set the Monster AC to be 14. Cool. All right, so that means starting here, let's actually add a comment so I know what's actually going on here. Now we're going to say, yeah, what are we going to do here? We're going to say, we'll just call it like establish, crap. What was the sequences? Establish sequence. Establish sequences. There we go. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do another loop, basically doing the exact same thing here. So establish the sequences. Paste that in there. So we want to say set random number 1 to be equal to 0. Yeah. All right, send it over. All right, sweet. Give that a save, and let's take a quick peek. Switch over here to the chord. Wait. Unexpected guests. Shh, no one tell him. Hey now. Hey now. Okay. Is it in general? Oh wait, Kim Dyer says, Moonwood. Is this today? Oh my gosh, this was today. This was like 15 minutes ago. Moonwood, I'm too EP to watch thine stream. Oh, I'm too sleepy to watch thine stream, so let it be known I shall be there in spirit. I'm about to be an honk shu. I'm so confused. But I will also give you a head pat and a heart. Oh, Kim Dari. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Where would it be? Where did you put it, Proto? That is what I'm trying to figure out. Wait, is it Tomb of Vercilias? Oh, wait. Oh my gosh, I never saw this devious oatmeal. I am so sorry. Also, David, welcome. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. How's your weekend been so far? Is it? Nope, not here. Also, though, I am so sorry here. I'm so sorry, David. I meant to react to this a while ago. Is it in art? Oh my gosh. Look at that. Molina, age 6, manifest. Is that manifest? Static? Electricity. Oh, okay. Yeah, very nice. I like that. I like it. Beautiful stuff. Direct to Moonwood Games. Oh, you sent it directly to me. All right, fair. Fair. Okay. Let's get that pulled up. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at that. I think we should. Okay. Yeah. Pretty good. All right. Let's see. Setting the stuff. Okay. So right here. Oh, what do we got here? So this is if recharge is on, waits for 60 frames, and then it adds 1 to recharge variable, which is variable ID 68. Okay. Then over here, we've got a parallel process. So recharge. So if recharge var. So the question then is, and it may go over it later. So if recharge var is greater than 5, then recharge var equals 0. 68 is also 68. Okay, so if it is greater than 5, set it to 0, and then turn off recharge. Okay, then this is the timer. This one activates the three event page. So if energy draining is on, so if electric bar is greater than or equal to 100, if energy draining is on, then we're going to say change MP entire party plus 25, energy draining off, alert off, recharge on. And then turn off energy draining, turn off alert. Okay. Then else, time is every 10 frames, gain 1 point. Electric bar plus 1. Okay. And over here on page 3, recharge 1. Okay, so this is event 14. This one is a different event that I'm not quite sure which one it is, but I'm assuming this is a different event though, because it's page 3. So we've got recharge 1, and then if recharge 1 var is greater than or equal to 5, then set recharge 1 var to 0, and then set recharge 1 to off. And these two are activated at the same time. Different event? Yep. Okay, cool. So they're both turning on at the same time. So this one is if recharge 1, the switch recharge 1 is on. So if 31 is on, That one's not affecting either of those switches. So if 30 is on, wait for 60 frames, and then turn on recharge. You, or 31 is on, that, and then turn off 30. Your if 9 is on, electric bar is greater than 100, energy draining is on. So we turn on 9, 11, and 30. Turn that off, turn that off. And then you are if recharge 1. So what is turning on recharge 1 then? I guess would be my question. I'm not seeing anything that's affecting 31. So here's what I would recommend. I'm not sure what would be affecting this one, recharge 1, but what you can do, I'm assuming this is... Oh. Stove. Then that one gets turned on. Okay. Then he gets turned on. Gotcha. I'll show you what they do 1 sec. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so here's what I would recommend. So I'm assuming the one that's up here, the one in the top right corner, is this event right here. Recharge 31. Yeah, very weird. So here's what I would recommend, is I would say in RPG Maker, I'm assuming that this is just an assumption based off of what I'm seeing. Are you using MV? I mean, it should work in either MV or MZ, but I'm assuming it's MV that you're using. So what I would recommend is right here, there's this little icon right here. It's the event searcher. So if you click on that, you can actually search for every event that's affecting or changing specific switches. So it's, say, for example, if you were to select switch number, was it 31? Yeah, 31 is recharge 1. So yeah, so what I would recommend is just look for number 31. So select variable or switch 31 and then do search, and it should tell you every single event, or I think it also does common events. I think. But it should tell you every event that is affecting or being affected by that switch. So that way you can go in and see if there are any events in here that are activating, like either turning on or off, specifically turning on this switch. You can see what event it is and maybe find out what is actually turning on that switch. Because it seems like there's something, because if the condition is if 31 is on, then something somewhere is turning on switch number 31. And it might just not be somewhere here. I also don't know if you're using any plugins or anything like that, but if you are using some plugins, there's a possibility that something's affecting it. Chances are pretty low. I've noticed most plugins don't affect switches and things like that. There's very few that would actually do that. Something else that it could potentially be is maybe it could be a plugin. Yeah, it's possible it could be a plugin if you have plugins. And then, you know, the other thing is, yeah, most plugins don't affect switches, unless there's like specifically a plugin that you got that is supposed to affect a switch. But at that point, you should know what the plugin's doing. The other thing it could be is you could have potentially been using this switch for something else in another event at some point in time, and you deleted the switch, but you didn't necessarily delete the event that was changing the switches. So it's possible that maybe there was an event. So we've got House 2 Experimental, Event 15, page 3 and 2. That is in 14.3, so I'm assuming that's like right there. To be, yeah, so it would be 14, 3, yeah. That's 30, and that's 31. 3 and 3, Event 14, Event 15. Okay, so Event 15 is specifically recharge. And then Event 14 is recharge 1. So you got page 2 and 3, page 2 and 3. 14.3, 2.3. Okay. Page 3 and 2, page 3 and 2. And that's page 3, that's page 2, page 3. So I think the only thing that I'm not seeing then is page 2 of event 14. So if you've got event page 2 of event 14, I could take a look at that and see. That's the only thing that I'm currently missing. Yes, that's just variable. This is page 3. This is if recharge is on. And that's just changing the variable. That's an if statement for the variable. Then it turns off. That changes the variable to 0. Yeah, then we got page 2 of event 14. Energy draining. Electric bar greater than 100. Energy draining is on. Change MP. Enemy draining off. That's 31. That is very bizarre. Yeah, I mean, yeah, as far as I can tell. Yeah, this is assuming event 15, and this is only turning on switch 30, which would then go to this page, switch 30. And then this one is only turning on 31, which would then switch to this page, which is 31. Yeah, Proto, I'm about as confused as you are. This is a crazy puzzle. Yeah, that is very bizarre. Yeah. So I mean, the only thing that could potentially be is I don't know if common events show up on that. Oh my goodness. Hootie Hend.
Hootie Hend just turned their way into the credits of Tomb of Vercilias.
Congratulations, Hootie Hend, and thank you. I appreciate that. That is absolutely crazy. Yeah, well, congratulations. Well done, well done. Let's get you thrown in here. The Tomb of Vercilias credits. That is crazy. 10k mana is a lot. So yeah, congratulations. Well done, Hootie Hend. Let's get you thrown in here. Get that pulled up over to here. Gonna do a little bit of Hootie Hend. And if you would like your name spelled any differently, different capitalization, anything like that, I just kind of go based off of what your username is. So yeah, so if you'd like anything different, let me know, and I will be more than happy to get that switched for. But well done, well done. I would like to be called Hootie Hend. Okay, capital H. Absolutely, we can do that. There we go. There we go. Yeah, congratulations. Well done. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Yeah, that is a lot of point saving up. So well done on that, and I salute you. Yes, thank you, thank you. Also, are you working? Yes. Also, common events are named like this too. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so recharge 1, recharge 2, but it doesn't look like these are actually affecting switches at all. Yeah, that is... I'd literally just try to click OK to close it. Yeah, wait a minute. Okay, so this is if energy draining is on. This is also if energy draining is on. So then if electric bar is greater than or equal to 100. And then you are if electric bar is greater than or equal to 100. And if energy draining is on. Wait. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so I think what you need to do is actually you need to change this condition here, the energy draining. Because right now, okay, oh my gosh, wait, why did I not see that? Okay, yes. Yeah, so basically the issue is, from what I can tell, is both of these page 2s, so for event 14 and 15. They have the exact same condition here. So this is if any energy draining is on, which I'm assuming it would be, you know, if this is actually being activated. And then they both have the exact same conditions. So this is if electric bar is greater than or equal to 100, then it's turning both of them on. Okay. Yeah. So that's why it's turning it on then. Yeah, because this one is turning on recharge 1, and then this one's turning on recharge. Okay. So yeah, so I think so I don't know what is turning on energy draining or exactly what it is. I'm assuming. So let's see. So you go over here on the water, light the stove. Okay, so you light the stove and then you go into there. And now it's adding up, and then once it reaches 100, it is now flipped that switch. So it's now turning on the fire and it's turning on the smoke. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's what's going on. Yes, they both have the same condition to turn on. So they're both if energy draining is on, and then if electric bar is greater than or equal to 100, then it turns on recharge 1 and it turns on recharge. So I think probably what you need to do. Yeah. So it's. So I'm not quite sure. Based off of the map itself, I'm not quite sure what you'll need to change. But yeah, so right now the reason why they're both turning on is because they both have the same condition of energy draining is on, and then if electric bar is greater than or equal to 100. So yeah, so you will need some kind of other condition. You may be able to replace this one, because technically this if statement is kind of... Yeah, this if statement is kind of is moot, because if energy draining is on, then this page is on. So I mean, it does help because you have this else handler here, but you can't have the else handler do anything, because if energy draining is off, then this whole page is going to be disabled entirely, and so it won't be able to process this else handler at all. So you will need to have this if statement be probably something different, some kind of other switch. Yeah, so long as you have some kind of different switch here, that, say for example, if when you go over to the light here, it would need to be some kind of other switch here, some other kind of condition. That way, it's not activating both of those at the same time. And then you would still be able to do the else handlers. Yeah. Hopefully that'll be the case. I can make energy draining 1 and 2. That would work. I think so. Yeah. I think all you need is, you need different switches to activate both of these pages individually. Yeah, that way you'd be able to know. You'll be able to know. Something I would recommend, though, just to kind of help yourself and potentially, for anyone, if you're ever needing help in the future as well. I know that it's really easy just to, incrementally increase some kind of variable on some kind of number on a variable, so having, recharge 1, recharge 2 kind of a thing. But something that could be very helpful, and, you don't necessarily have to take this advice, not at all. This is just kind of like, like a constructive feedback, is I would say maybe naming it, something along the lines of like, recharge, something that's specific to what it's actually recharging. So if you're going to have, if it's going to be universal across different maps, then don't worry about this at all. You could do recharge 1, recharge 2, recharge 3 kind of a thing. But if these variables are specific to this map, saying something like, recharge upper left lamp, recharge upper right lamp, recharge middle lamp, or something like that. That way, like, it would be a little bit easier. That way, like, if you do run into issues like this again, you'll be able to see specifically what is actually being turned on, which ones aren't. But again, if you're going to be creating multiple maps and reusing these variables for all those different objects in those maps, then do not listen to this at all, because just going with an incremental value increase, 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, then that's going to work just fine. And then so if they're universal variables, then don't worry about that at all. But if they're specific to these events, just for like your own benefit of testing and being able to like more quickly see like what is where without having to be like, oh yeah, that was variable number 2, not variable, recharge number 1. That is my own advice. You do not have to take it though, not at all. But it could come in helpful. Could. Axel says, wait, did we do the coin flip? We did. We did it very early, but Hootie Hen did ask if we could do a second one, and I did say we could do it in an hour. So maybe we will do one. All right, let's do another coin flip. So here we go. Let's do a prediction. Let's start prediction, and we're gonna do heads or tails on coin flip. 5 minutes on the clock. Make sure you get your predictions in, what you think it's going to be, heads or tails. Let me know. Let me know. All right. But yeah, Proto, let me know if that worked. Hopefully that will have helped. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Sometimes things like that can be very frustrating and get out of hand really quickly. And yeah, so hopefully that will be good. Sumran Dev says, "Oh no, I'm scared. I went all in. You went all in on the coin flip. Oh my gosh. Wait, what do we got? What do we got? We got 308 on heads. It's not bad. That is not bad at all. All right. Let's see here. 3K on tails. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I only had 114. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, let's see if we can make some progress on this card stuff. So basically, the way this is going to work is we want to set random number 1 to equal 0, and then in here we want to then go into a loop. This is going to be establishing the sequences. Okay, so we want to say if 781. We don't want to say 781. We now want to say if 780. The reason being is because we now have this set to be equal to 1. Over here, we were setting it to -1, which would then set this to 0 on the first pass, and so it was fine there. But with this one, we want to set it to 0, and then we wanted to add 1 to it. So we want to say if game variables 780, but I don't think we actually need to do if. We need an if. Yes, but we need to change things just a little bit. So let's say, so 35. Okay, so basically we need to say if variable 35. Yep. So if game variables 35 is what's the first thing we need to check? If 35 is less than game variables dot value, I believe, if I remember right, and this is not just me saying this number, I believe it's variable 69. If 35 is less than 69, and I believe 69 is monster AC. See, I wasn't just wanting to say 69. It is actually variable ID 69. So if 35 is less than 69, so that is basically if your total card value is less than 39. We don't need that yet. Maybe we do? All right, how do we need to have this thing process? What is... All right. I don't need the freaking calculator. I need my notepad. Notepad. Okay. Let's do this. So what is the sequence of events? So, step 1. We need to first... Oh, this is weird, because I need to make sure it is universal. Because the first one's not going to matter, because you cannot ever be more... Because I don't ever want the monster's AC to be less than 11. Because that means you could just have an ace, and you could just be there. It needs to take at least 2 cards every time. So the lowest monster AC is ever going to be 12. So, we're going to say... Step 1... We need to check if draw is lower than AC. Step 2. Nope. We just say if the draw is lower than AC, then we need you to draw another card. And I believe it would just be an else, right? Yeah, because if the draw value is lower than the AC, then you just draw another card. It's an else, so if it's So if the draw value is greater than or equal to AC, draw power, if draw... Oh my gosh, I need to make sure that we're good. Okay, so if draw is less than AC, then draw another card. Else, if draw is greater than or equal to AC, then we just need to attack. Maybe I'm making this more complicated in my head than I was thinking. Is that literally all it needs to be? If the draw is less than the AC, then draw another card. Else, if the draw is greater than or equal to AC, then attack. Okay, I think in my head I was just making it more complicated than it needs to be. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Okay, let's do a coin flip really quick, and then we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get this thing working tonight. I feel it. I feel it. We got 2.5 hours. We're gonna get this thing working tonight. I know we are. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be absolutely fantastic. All right, here we go. We're gonna do ourselves a coin flipperoo. Everybody ready? Remember, best 2 out of 3. Let's see what happens here. Let's do a little flippy flip. Oh, we got ourselves a heads. We've got ourselves a heads. All right, there we go. We got 1 heads, 0 tails. See what happens. Let's see what happens. What do we got here? We got 60% on tails. That is 3K on tails. I was too nervous and didn't bet. Ah, that's fair. Quitting well ahead. That's fair, some random. That is fair. That is fair. All right, well, we got 1 heads, 0 tails. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. 1 heads, 0 tails. Oh, there we go. We've got ourselves a heads. Oh my god. See, I told you. It's not rigged. It could go either way. Well, looks like heads has won. I made the right choice. Wait. Did you guess heads? Also, Axel, I'm so sorry. I feel like you always like go all in on one and then it never pans out. That is rough. I guess heads. Well then, there we go. Yeah. Well, to the 3 people who guessed heads, congratulations. We are Oh, wait, why does it only show 1? Total voters, return ratio. Oh, so it's a 1 to 2.52 return rate. Okay, gotcha. Well, there we go. Not too bad. Heads, there it is. Looks like there's going to be 4,900, almost 4,500, or almost 5,000 channel points that are going to the guessers of heads. Not bad at all. Congratulations. Well done if you guessed heads. Absolutely fantastic. Axel, I am so sorry. My guess is, out of the 4 people that guessed, Axel, I'm guessing you guessed tails, and then everybody else gets heads. I'm so sorry. No, but I always gamble tails. So not playing was the right choice. That would make sense. That would make sense. Some random. Good point. Yes. Well, there we go. But hear me out. Heads won this time, which means tails has to win next time, right? I think that's how that goes. Yeah, that's how that goes. If it didn't win one time, it'll win the next time. Magma Guy says, big money indeed. Big money indeed. All right. Let's see if we can get this thing figured out. True, exactly. That is how random numbers work. If it wins one time, then the next time, it's got to be the other one. Putting 5K on tails next time. That's going to be dangerous. That's going to be a dangerous one. But I'm here for it. Okay, so. So here's what we need. We need you. Yes. So essentially, we just need to say, if draw, which is 35, is less than AC, which is 69, then we just need to say, do this thing. Draw another card. How are we going to do that? Should be easy enough. So we just say, game variables dot set value 780 plus 911. That'd be 781. So we need to set the draw value to equal card number 1. So we need to say set 780 plus that, which is basically saying set 781. Yeah. No. We want to set variable 35. That is your draw value. So we want to set variable 35 to equal game variables dot value 780 plus 911. So this would be 781. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we need one more parenthesis there. Okay, so yeah, so we want to say set 35 to equal this variable, which would be 781. So we got 1, 2, wait, I just need to make sure. So we got 1 parenthesis, 2, 3, 4, then we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I did have one too many. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. All right, and then we also need to. And now we need to set. Wait a minute. How do you do that? We're gonna learn today. JavaScript. If statement. Multiple actions. That's the one. Is it just like comma separated, or how do you do that? Oh, that's it. So I'll just do that, and then I just throw in another one. Easy enough. Easy enough. I always overcomplicate things in my head. We're learning today. We are learning how to do multiple actions in an if statement. Yay! Yay, JavaScript. Okay, so yeah, so if... Yeah. I mean, that would make sense. I feel like this is something I've done before and I forgot how to do it. Okay, so yeah, so if 35 is less than 69, nice, then we say set variable 35 to equal 780x, and then we need to say game variables dot set value of this guy 780 plus 911, so you to there, you to there. We would say set 780 to equal 0. And then that. Okay. Cool. Now. Yeah. I think. I don't. It probably is absolutely horribly coded. I know that it's horribly coded. As long as it does the trick, that's all I care about. Ooh, okay. So let's just see. I just want to see. So if we then... Let's just flash the screen here. So I just want to see if this is actually doing a thing. Okay, so as of right now, cards. So we got 5, 9, and 7. Makes sense. So if we click to attack, you're now 0. So you should be equal to 5. Now you're 0. So you should be equal to 14. Let's check on that really quick. Yeah, let's check on that really quick. So we're going to say game variables dot value of 69 14. Yes. Okay. So then we want to do that one more time. Crap. I forgot. Close you. Okay, so now we've got 0, 0, 0. What would that be? 14. plus 7 be 22, right? Oh, it's because it's greater than. Okay. That would make sense. But now is it going to keep reducing these? Yeah, 0, 0, but it's not adding to that anymore. Okay, so we're close. So it is going through and sequentially removing the value of the cards, which is what we want to do. So we're basically just saying anything these cards are worth, take those variables, put it into this one pool of variable, and then as soon as we run into the end of, the end of it, then we need to do some other stuff. I found a piece of mail in my room with my name on it, and I don't remember why I got it. Just make sure it doesn't have anthrax, and then you should be good. Mysterious mail is always fun. Unless it's junk mail, then it's terrible. So, why is it still reducing then? We want to say if 35 is less than 69, then it's reducing the variable, and it's adding to that. Should that not be exactly how it should be? So if condition, and then would say open curly bracket, statement, and then we would do statement number 2, okay. So it shouldn't have been reducing those then. So it should still be if it's less than. No, because it still would have technically been less than. 35, variable 35 was equal to 14. Oh. Okay. So it wasn't... It was technically greater than, because it was equal... This is equal to 14. Okay, so the monster AC is 14. So then here when we were saying, with the if statement, so 35 was equal to 14. So we're saying if, so we were basically saying 14 is less than 14, which it was not anymore. But then it shouldn't have been setting these to be equal to 0. Okay. I'm not trusting that anymore. Let's see what Stack Overflow has to say. So if x equals apple, then you can do that, and you can do that. And that is exactly how I have it set up. You just add that. Well, it sucks how tiny the JavaScript windows are in RPG Maker. I know, it is rough. That's why usually when I'm reviewing it, I'm on here because it's slightly wider because I can actually see the full thing. So if game variables dot value 35, so if 35, which is the draw value, which was equal to 14, is less than game variables dot value 69, which is the monster's AC. So this was 14 and this was 14. So it shouldn't have been processing this at all, because then it would say if it is less than, then we want to say game variables dot set value variable 35 to equal game variables dot value 780 plus. Okay, so yeah, so we're basically then saying if you're less than, then update variable 35. Wait. No, we want to say game variables dot set value 35 to be equal to 35 plus. Okay, all right. Well, there's a problem. I don't know. It's not exactly the problem, but it is a problem. So I want to say game variables.set value 35. Now I just want to make sure that I'm actually setting that one correctly. Yeah, because to add two variables, you want to say game variables.set value variable ID. Yes. Yeah, so game variables.set value 35 to then equal game variables.value 35 plus yeah 35 and game variables.value 35 plus the value, which the value would be whatever the value of game variables.value 780 plus that variable is. Okay. I think that would be correct. And then we would say game variables.set value 780 plus that, set it to 0. That actually zeroes it out. Okay. I think that is correct. I think. Celix says, neat. Welcome, Celix. Welcome over to YouTube. And barely read your own code. barely can read it. Barely can. All right, so let's take a look here. Let's see what happens. So if we come over to variable 781, we got 2, 1, 1, 3, 8, 6. Okay. So we should be able to click here. It'll flash. We got 0. Now, with that 0, we now have game variables.value. I am so stupid. I was checking variable 69, which is the monster's AC. Of course it wasn't changing. The monster's AC doesn't change. It's literally... It is a set value of 14. I need to be checking variable 30, 36, 36. Nope. Yes? How are we at 21? Why are we at 21? Variable 36, right? 35. Variable 35. Hey, look at that. It's equal to 2, which is what that was 2. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now what we should be able to do is if we close that and then we close this, that flashes again. Now we should have 2 plus 11, which should be 13. So if we come in here and then we go like that, look at that. It's now equal to 13. Oh my gosh. What a freaking crazy thing. Now, if we do it again, now it shouldn't have done that because that's now going to put us at 24. Let's see if it actually upped it to 24. F8. Okay, so we are at 24. Actually, that is correct. Because we were at 13, which wouldn't have been able to have done what we needed it to. So that means we would have had to draw another card, which means we would have gone over 21, we would have busted, the monster would have attacked. Okay, that is correct. Holy smokes. Now, let's refresh this. Let's see what happens if we now are able to make a correct hand. So we've got 6, and then we're going to have an 11, so that'll give us 17, so that should be more than enough. So it should only reduce the value of those variables. Yes, so it should only reduce card value 1 and card value 2, and it should skip over 3 and on. Should. Let's see what happens. Okay, so let's do this. We'll click on it, and then we come in here, and we want to check for variable 35. Is that equal to 6, which is correct. Do it again. We should now be equal to 17, and if we check that, we're equal to 17. So now, if we close that, it should flash, but it shouldn't actually do anything because we technically are at the value. We're at 17. That's all we need. So if we come in here and we check, we should still be at 17. It hasn't reduced that. Because yeah, so card number 2. So we should only use card number 1 and card number 2 for this sequence. Cool. Cool. Yes. Now, what we need to do is we now need to check and see a few things. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Diamond Monsters 5274 says, it's amazing you're showing us this game development. I'll stick to card and board game design development. I'll let experts
do the digital. Speaking of being an expert, I'll let the experts do the digital design development. Well, I do appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if I would necessarily call myself an expert. Unless, of course, you weren't meaning myself.
And you're meaning other people that do game development while on live stream, because I would agree with that. But either way, I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. So you say you are sticking with card and board game
design and development. Oh my goodness! And I still don't know why that inversion is not working. Because I'm pretty sure it still has inverted me. I don't understand why. It makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. Oh, hey, look at that. There's that. Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, never mind. I know why it's not doing that anymore. I now know why, and I can fix it later. Anyway, well, but yeah, so you say you're sticking with card and board game design and development. Do you have anything you would feel comfortable sharing? Because I would absolutely love to hear about any board or card games that you've made. Yeah, would love to hear. Yes, you said my name. Okay, yeah, you said my name, card game title correctly. Oh, wait. You said my name, card game title correctly. So is Dimino Monsters, is that the name of the game? Because I feel like now I need to look it up. Let's see what we got here. Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh. So Dimino Monsters? I feel like I keep saying it differently every single time. Yeah, oh my gosh. Look at this. Dimino Monsters, 21 years in game development. Oh, Dimino Monsters, 2004 to 2025. Some of the hand-drawn world of Tridorium. Playmats drawn by the creator Jesse Fernandez, drawn in black ink and hand-colored and isometric perspective view. Holy smokes. Hey, that looks absolutely fantastic. This is beautiful. I like that. Well, everybody. Yeah, what do we got? Yeah, so I mean, I feel like I'm going to say it differently again. Dimino? Oh my gosh. It's Domino, but with a Y. Oh, okay. Now I feel a little bit more confident saying it. Yeah, Domino Monsters is an epic fantasy novel, customizable card game. The game was created in August 2004. The main storyline that was finalized in 2012. The play mats are created in isometric view, as you see in the profile picture. In the future, this YouTube channel, I and my playtesters will dive deep within the game storyline. Players can choose from 12 different characters with their own unique weapon skill technique systems as they level up during a solo campaign, co-op campaign, or even a multiplayer campaign. At this time, the game is still into production, but there are plenty of playmats to show and teach how the game is played. Stay tuned for more updates and videos about the game. Absolutely fantastic. Well, if everybody enjoys card games, board games, that kind of stuff, especially sounds like fantasy, novel, customizable card games, make sure to come in here, give a subscribe, and yeah, I'm super excited to see what comes next, what comes along with this. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. I was about to say thanks for sharing, but I guess I kind of shared on your behalf. So if you didn't want that shared, I am very sorry. And I'll delete the mod or the VOD or something if you prefer. But yeah, if not, 100%. Make sure everybody to go check out Domino Monsters. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. No, please share. All right, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, make sure to jump in here, make sure to subscribe. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Yeah, I am very excited to see where this goes, what more you got going on, and yeah, to see the updates. Yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. This looks like something that I would be 100% interested in. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Yeah, beautifully drawn maps too. Beautiful stuff. Yeah. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up from me. Fantastic. All right, I'm going to jump over here, and I'm just going to share that over in Twitch as well. So if anyone would like to go, there is the link right there. And then, of course, if you're over on YouTube, you can click on the name and then go subscribe, go follow, whatever it is you feel comfortable with. But yeah, thanks for jumping in here and being here. I do appreciate that. I wasn't trying to take over the show. I was admitting your work. That was super cool. No. Don't ever feel. I am more than happy to highlight anyone who's doing anything and everything creative. That is what hopefully the community that we're trying to build here is, for anyone who is willing to create and then put that out publicly in any way, shape, or form, whether it's just being like, oh, hey, I'm working on this thing, or if you've got screenshots, links, anything like that. I love to see, love to share, and yeah, absolutely beautiful, fantastic stuff. I don't know if you would be interested at all. We do have a Discord. If we do, let's see, I believe it's Discord. That's the one, right? Oh no, I I spelled that wrong. It's Discord. That's the one. If you would like, here's a link to our Discord. If I could ever spell Discord. Yeah, in it, we got people sharing art they're making, games they're making, music, videos, anything and everything creative. So if you'd like to share anything in the Discord at all, would love to have you there. If not, that's totally fine. No worries at all. That way you just know it's there if you're interested. But yeah, I do appreciate you being here. I appreciate your kind words. Yeah, it's awesome of you. So thank you. Yes, sir, I'm always looking for beginner to expert game developers who are sharing their work and see how far their work has been progressing. Yeah, well, this one is it's about a year in, and I know it probably doesn't look it because I have changed things a little bit too much here and there now. But slowly but surely, we're gonna get there. We are gonna get there slowly but surely. But yeah, I can give you a really quick rundown if you'd be interested in it. Yeah, it's just it's a dungeon crawling roguelike RPG where you are a bounty hunter going in to capture a mage who has started dabbling in dark magics. And yeah, so you're just going through fighting monsters, collecting items. The combat is currently based on blackjack. In the future, it's going to be potentially more loosely based on blackjack. We are currently trying to rework the combat system as of right now, and that's kind of the it's why it doesn't look great as of right now. But yeah, so originally the idea was you were playing blackjack against the monsters. You draw your cards, they draw their cards, but the monsters cards kind of created like an armor class for them, and then you would draw your cards up to the point of being able to get above their armor class and then be able to deal damage to them. It felt like it was a little bit too simplistic, and so we're kind of working on redoing that combat system just a bit. So it's still kind of loosely based off of blackjack, but at this point you can now kind of, you control a bit more of your combat, because before it was all very luck-based. I mean, yeah, drawing cards is very luck-based. And for being a roguelike, I was like, I don't want it to be roguelike. I don't want it to be luck-based if it's a roguelike. A handful of people also brought that concern up too. They were like, well, blackjack is very random. How are you going to make it less random and more like, I feel like I'm in control? And I was like, well, it's a good point. That is a great point. So yes, we're kind of going back through, redoing how the combat works. So essentially what it'll be is you are creating these sequences of cards. And so like you're lining your cards up to then deal damage to the monster based off of their armor class. And then you're kind of the one going through and setting up these combinations of attacks, so it'll be like the sequence of reaching their armor class without actually accidentally going over 21. Oof. I need more water or something. And yeah, that's what we're working on right now. Yeah, so it's basically, you'll drag and drop your cards to set up the sequence that you would like, trying to get to the point where, yeah, you're going over their armor class, but not over 21. And if you accidentally go over 21, then you lose your entire hand, the monster gets to attack you, and then you draw a new hand and you have to go again. So, yeah, so we've got the actual movement of the cards working, and then after that, we're working on being able to actually attack. So as of right now, we are working on the sequence of it pulling X number of cards until it has the right amount of cards, and then it will, continue after that. Anyway, let's see, reminded me of Eye of the Beholder video game from SNES. Well, there we go, yeah. I kind of, the vibe that I'm going for is like that, old school retro RPG kind of feel. So like, yeah, think like late 80s, early 90s computer RPGs, or like any kind of RPG that you would see like on, NES, SNES, that kind of time period, very, very, I'm trying to go for like limited, but also fun. So, it's awesome. I saw a previous live stream of yours a few days ago, so I'm definitely interested. Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you. So anyways, yes, that's what we're working on, and hopefully it'll be interesting and exciting. I feel like I've been very, very sidetracked tonight, for better or worse, for better or worse. It is fun hanging out and chatting. If I didn't want to hang out and chat, I wouldn't be streaming, so it's like kind of hard for me to be like, we got to get work done, because it's like, well, I want to chat too, but I also do need to make sure that I'm focusing on work. Yeah. I feel like people are very specifically trying to get me to chat tonight. I feel like that's everybody's goal tonight. It's just been so much fun chatting. Whoops. Gotta make sure that I don't ever try to move them too fast, otherwise, run into issues. All right, so now we're to the point where, yes, we click on that, and it starts counting the cards, which is what we need. Yes, 0, 0. And then it doesn't do anything after that. I'll be quiet now. Shh, teacher's trying to focus. No, you're totally fine. I didn't want to say that in a way of being like, stop talking, because I want to keep talking. But yeah. I am probably going to lock in just a little bit, though. Just so I can actually say that I did something tonight, other than just kept sitting here being like, okay, I think this is working now. Maybe this is working now. Maybe. Yeah, no, feel free to keep chatting. I would absolutely love to keep chatting. Proto says, I fixed everything! That is very nice, Proto. Was it anything that I suggested, though? Because if this is everything, if this is other stuff that you found, then that's all on you. But either way, I am very happy to help. Works perfectly now? That is absolutely fantastic to hear. Let's see, Fluffy Panda says, hi Moon, how's it going? Catching your stream after a long time. Fluffy Panda, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Yeah, happy to see you here. And it's going well. We are coming off the tail end of a 4-day weekend for myself, so it has been absolutely fantastic. But I am a little bit worried about tomorrow. I am very nervous to go back to work, because after so much time off, it's gonna be a lot. I feel like it's just gonna be a crazy busy day tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm doing great. We're just working on the new combat system. How are you doing, Fluffy? How you doing? Yeah, the reset up was a little more complex, though. That is fair. Yeah, as soon as you have to start getting other switches in there to try and like keep things separate, it does make it a little bit more complicated. But I'm glad that it did work out in the end, though. Yeah, so happy to help. I'm very happy to help. Yeah, sorry that it required so many screenshots from you to try and kind of figure out what was going on. But I'm glad that we did get to the bottom of it, though. That is good. Gosh. There's so many people that I follow now on Twitch that every time they go live, I get so many notifications like every night. Basically starting at like 7 p.m. until like 11 p.m. I usually get like 6 or 7 notifications of like, this person just went live, and I'm like, I wish I could go watch, but I'm busy. I'm streaming. All right. So, what is next? So we could either break the loop once we reach that spot, or no, it was a bizarre problem. The screenshots were needed. They were needed. They definitely were needed. I would not have been able to figure that out without the screenshots. But yeah, I do feel a little bit bad that I had to make you send so many screenshots, but I am glad that we eventually got to the bottom of it. Okay, so I think actually what we can do is it will just run through, and then it's going to stop. So then once we get through the loop, I couldn't describe it otherwise. I mean, that's true. Trying to describe all of that would have been an absolute nightmare. The screenshots definitely made it so I was able to actually see where the problem was, and then try to explain it. I feel like I probably didn't explain it in the best way. But I am glad that the bottom was gotten to. I think we need a second loop here. Just glad I'm in your Discord and found you. That's fair. Yeah, being able to send those over Discord was way easier than trying to do something else. So this is just going to select the cards that are actually a part of the thing. A part of the sequence. So. So without doing any kind of visual thing, I just need to move the cards. Crap, yeah, how am I gonna... So I wanted to only move the cards that are in this sequence specific. So I guess first things first is I think I do need to create another loop. Because we're going to loop through this for every sequence. Throw that in there. So then after we break out of this loop, we then need to say, conditional branch, if 35, not switches, we need to see if variable 35 is greater than 21. That means you have busted. Busted! Maybe... So I mean, we do want to have... Okay, so we need to actually a couple different things. So if card total value is greater than 21, then busted. Else, if card total value is equal to 21, then we want to say blackjack. And then, so it's if this, else if this, and then just else. Yeah. You can watch some David Goggins videos to motivate yourself to do the hard work tomorrow. True. David Goggins would 100% motivate me to do the hard work. Actually, if I were to listen to David Goggins, I'd probably be like, yeah, my work's actually not that hard. What am I complaining about? And then I would still probably complain. I work on all this stuff on my own, so it's good to find someone to bounce stuff off of too. Well, there you go. Yeah, and I am more than happy to have you, bounce questions, concerns, ideas, anything like that off of 100%. Absolutely. Okay, so that is... Oh... Let's see, what sequence would be best, actually? I don't think we actually want to say... We don't want to take into account the blackjack yet. Okay, so I think we just need... We got busted, and then we've got attack. So yes, we don't need that yet. So we just want to say, if you're greater than 21, then you've busted. In which case, actually, the busting should be really easy. Obviously, like, we're not gonna do the monster attacks yet. But I think literally all we need to do is we just need to say, this shows image. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so let's go over to here. So if you bust, then we're going to say we need to move the cards. We're going to do another loop here, because gotta love our loops. We're going to set this one to be equal to 0. Then we plus 1. Throw that in there, and then we just say we want to move card number 101 plus game variables dot value 911. Ooh, no. We want to say -1 and plus 1. So it's 101 plus 911. 911 is equal to 0, so it'd be 101, and then 102, 103, 104. Okay, so we move 101 down to, and let's find out where on here we need to move, because we want to move it to the discard pile. I also think we want to move... Yeah, let's move card number 10... Yeah, we'll move 101 first. Yeah. Let's find out where here we want to move this thing to. So we want to move you to there. Oh, and that's going to be... to... 688 and 620. Move you to 688, 620. You're going to move in 15 frames. Yes, we're going to move 101 first. And let's just wait for like 3 frames. And then it loops through again. And it adds 1 to that random number. It just moves everything down. And then conditional branch when variable 911. Random number 1 equals greater than or equal to 13. That means it's reached the end. And basically all we need to do is just say we then want to show. So 101 is a starting card. That would mean 114. Yeah, 114 could be the top card. Well. That's gonna potentially do some weird things. Should be alright, though. Should be alright. Guess we'll see. Time will tell. Okay, so 114. Just... No, we don't want to move picture. We now want to show picture. This is essentially swapping out the top card on the discard pile with whatever the last card was that got put on. So, yeah. I want to say image layer 114. I'm going to show card plus 794. But we actually want to say show it based off of variable 793 and 806. 793, 806. Okay. So 806 plus dash plus 793. 1. And the X and Y is going to be, it was 688, 620. Okay. The origin is 1. And we don't want to do any of this. We actually want to replace all of that. 688, 620. There. Okay. We can get rid of that move picture command. So it's just show image layer 114. And then I think we should be able to call that good. Yeah, so I think at that point, yeah, it's literally just show that top card over the discard pile. And then we'll say we should just be able to turn off. Ooh, we got to turn off a couple different things. We got to turn off 151 and A. Actually, that's not too bad. All right, never mind. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. So yeah, so let's just say, so if you bust, do that, do all of that stuff, and then we just want to say, turn off self switch A, and turn off 151, and then I think what we can do is we can just say exit event processing. And then I think that should just take us back here to the start. It'll draw all new cards. Yeah. I think. I hope. I guess we'll see. We will see what happens. Let's turn that full screen back on so you can see what's going on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it draws all the cards. So we need to get above 14, but less than 21. No. So I want to test out the bust. I just want to see if that works at all, and then we'll move on to the actual attacking stuff. Let's see. Domino Monster says, I have joined the group Discord channel a moment ago. Thank you for the invite. Oh, well, thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Well, I'm very excited to see what else you got going on, you know, for any and all pictures you would like to share. Also, I have another question, but it's another puzzle and not anything to worry about now. Where should I put it in your Discord? So if you would like to share, so if you're like looking for either input from people, or if you're just wanting to, like, you know, just share it in general, there is the creator corner. Yeah, it could be in any one of those things. So you got community projects, you got creator corner. You could throw things in. You could throw something in art if it's like you know, some kind of something like that you would like. Oh, you put in discussions? That works as well. That works as well. Yeah, generally, yeah, if you're wanting to share anything that you're building, yeah, Create a Corner or community projects would be an absolutely fantastic place to put those. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's go there. Let's go there. Okay. Let's see. Brian says, real talk, Bad Bunny or Taylor Swift for Artist of the Year? Absolutely terrible choices. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think I've ever heard a Bad Bunny song. I don't think I've heard a single Bad Bunny song. And I'm pretty sure this year, all I've ever listened to on Taylor Swift is her old stuff. Not really much of a current Taylor Swift fan. Yeah, I listened to a ton of Taylor Swift back in high school. Back in like 2007, 2008. Oh, that was peak Taylor Swift time. But, you know, I know that she's bigger now than she's ever been. But that was the Taylor Swift that I liked, like when she was country. I'm not saying she hasn't made good stuff since, but I've maybe listened to like 3 of her songs that she's made since like 2015. So, yeah, I can't really be a good judge on that either. I am what you would call uncultured swine, and yeah, so I can't really say one way. I'm gonna say Taylor Swift. I'm just gonna say, based on what I know, Taylor Swift, I would say, for Artist of the Year. Or Creed. If it was up to a vote, I would throw Creed in the mix. I'm only curious because I have a bet on it. Yeah, I would probably say Taylor Swift. If you're betting, I would say bet on Taylor Swift. That works for me. She has like 30 million more followers on Spotify too. So there you go. There you go. I would absolutely say then. But for some reason, the odds of her winning the bet is at like 3%.
Benedict says, I'm more of an Axel_Benedict fan myself. Ty Verdes and Hard Life are pretty cool to toe.
So there we go. There we go. Yeah. Axel Benedict for Creator of the Year. For Artist of the Year. Music Creator of the Year. It's gotta be. Gotta be. Very nice. Okay. So yeah, so we want to try and get above 21. We need to go from 14 to 21. We need at least a 10 in there. Okay. So let's do 10. And then we'll do a... Crap. A 4 would be too much. So that'd be 12. And then that'd be 22. Okay. Yeah, so this sequence should put us above 21. Without going over 14 before that. Okay, cool. Let's give that a try. So we should be able to click this, and it should basically instantly just move all the cards down, because I think I took out all the weights. So basically, all we're going to see is basically me clicking here, and then all the cards should, in sequence, file down here, and then this card should stay on top. And then fingers crossed, about half a second later, it should then draw all new cards and fill them in here without erasing this card. Let's see what happens. Crap. Okay, all right. Okay, well, that's, it was so close. It was very close to almost working. To almost work. But it was not quite. Not quite meant to be. I think what happened, pretty sure what happened, is it's trying to show, when it's trying to show that card layer 114 here, based off of whatever this last card was, I think that's where it messed up. Pretty sure that's where it messed up. All right, let's try this again. Let's do 10, and then we're gonna do I have a 3? Oh my gosh, all right, 12, and then a jack. That makes sense. We'll do 10 to 10. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so I'll click here. It should discard all the cards. Yeah, then I'm pretty sure it gets rid of that because it then draws all the other cards, but it's trying to show card 1-0. Now, why is it 1-0? What? Why? Why would that happen? As far as I know, it draws all the cards. And then 793 should be equal to 7. Is it actually 793, though? That's the question. Let's see. Establish sequence. Busted. So we're going to say show image layer 101. So 114, show card. 806. Oh. Okay, I know you can't see it right now, but I accidentally double pressed 9. So it was referencing variable 700 or 7,993 and not 793. That would do it. That would do it. Okay, now we should be able to refresh, come in here, and I should be able to have it do all the cards, and then we do 10, 2, 10, and then we should be able to try and attack. We'll bust. It'll send all the cards down. They'll all come up here. There we go. It's working. It's working. Oh, nice. The sliding working. Yes, yes, it is. It is very, very loosely working now to the point where, actually, as you saw, it was a little bit janky there. So what we're going to do here is we can say, before you show this, so we're waiting for 3 frames, which means we need to wait for another 12 frames for it to finish the animation, and then it shows the card there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it shows all the cards. There's also a little bit of an issue there, because if we say 10, 3, and then 10, it's then going to do, so it shows this card as card 114. Crap. Okay, that doesn't work. Just got my website to lazy load scroll. Feels good to get big stuff done. Hey, that is very nice. It does feel good to get that kind of stuff done. I like it. I'm gonna have to go check it out in a bit. So, I don't know if you would have noticed what happened there. This is why I'm just kind of like, crap. Because, if we put a jack here, and let's do 10, 2, and a king, that'll make us bust. Keep an eye on this purple jack here. So if I attack, it should send all the cards down here. And then watch this jack become a 10. You want to know why? It's because when I go to attack, as it is running through the sequence that we're creating, it's swapping all of the... Yes, you are 100%, the IDs. It is swapping all the IDs from the jacks are 11, the queens are 12, the kings are 13, and it swaps those all to be 10s so that they are their actual blackjack values. So then when it has to move all the cards down and replace the top card with this last card now has an ID of 10 instead of the 12 that it should, to establish that it is a queen. I thought so when I heard how you were handling it earlier. Yep, you are 100% correct there. Yeah, so I think what we need to do... What can we do? Well, first of all, okay, so the card deck is actually showing image layer 28. That is fantastic, actually. Oh! Oh! That is beautiful, actually. Because that means we can use image layer 29 instead of the... So it'll just replace card discard. Yes. Ooh. That works actually perfectly. Okay, never mind. I think we should be good to go. All we need to do, though, is we've got this game screen pick swap, which basically retains the image that it's showing, and then it just swaps it with another image layer, because image layers are weird in RPG Maker. The image layers are basing the Z-axis off of height. So the higher the Z-axis, the closer the thing is to the screen. So even if you show something at image layer 75, and it shows the image here, and then you show something afterwards at image layer 80, it's going to go in front of image layer 75 because it's image layer 80 instead of 75, and so it just kind of shows behind that thing. So the way that you can manage the Z-axis layer is, using the image layer IDs, but those IDs are unique. You have to have one image per ID layer. So you can't show things on the same layers, as they have to be, you have to coordinate to have them be showing in the correct spot. So here's what we can do. We can say over here, we want to swap this with image layer 29. So instead of actually showing an image, we don't want to show image layer 114. All we want to do here is we want to say swap image layer 7. No, we want to do image layer 29 with image layer 113. 113, not 14. It's 29, right? 29 is the discard. Yes, card discard pile is image layer 29. We just want to swap image layer 29 with 113. That way, the last card that was on top is now image layer 29. But That also means we need to come in here and we need to erase some images because otherwise it's not going to be good. So I believe we need to just say, I need to look at this again. I can't remember. Okay. Yeah, that was close enough. Close enough. Ooh, okay. So royalty, aces, established sequences. So, okay, so this is if you bust. Swap the picture ID. Now we want to say... This also might be causing another potential issue in the future. Because this is going to start at image layer... Ah, crap, yeah. I will figure that out later. We'll figure that out when we get there. This is, this is a lot crazier than I thought it was going to be. Okay. Yeah, so what we need to do, and I'm just going to do this the very lazy way. Eventually I'll come in here and I will make it look better. But for now, here's what we want to do. We just basically want to say erase image layer 101. And I know this is going to look extremely messy. And I've accepted it. I'll fix it later. I'll make it look better later. Say 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112. So freaking close. Actually, no. Nope. That is as close as you can get. But now we need to also erase 113 because now the discard pile is going to be on top, which we do not want. We want the discard pile to now be gone because it's being shown as... Yeah. So we should be fine. Okay. So we swap those image layers. So put image layer 13 onto 29, and then 29 is now on top, and then we just instantly erase everything. Now we should be good. The other cards, when you draw them, should go on top of the draw card. Whew. Okay. Let's give that a shot and see what happens. All right, so now let's swap that. Crap. Gotta do it slower. Okay, so let's swap that over. Let's bring you over. Grab a 3, and we'll grab another 10. I need to fix that. Okay, so now we will bust with these 3. So everything will go back down here. This top card should be this king, and then we should be able to draw again. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Let's do that. I'll go there. Crap. Okay, that's not exactly what I was hoping would happen. Why did that happen? So it should swap image layer 29 and 113. It is possible. It is possible because this is a plugin that I had someone make for me. That's pictures above. The swap pick ID. Yeah. So I think the potential issue, that's not what we want. I think the potential issue is, let's go to downloads, Tomb of Vercilias, JavaScript, plugins. We're going to go to ATT Turin swap pick ID. So this is all it is. This is literally all it is. And like literally all it is saying just swap image layer X with Y. But it's possible that this, because since it was made for RPG Maker MV, and MV technically does not support out of the box being able to show more than 100 images. And so I think the potential issue is that I'm trying to have it swap image layer 113, which it might not see as being a thing. Yeah. Potentially. So, let's come over to here. Let's see here. Domino says, ta-da! Yay! I know. It was feeling good. Man, what an engine. I know. See, here's the thing. This is why I made a short a long time ago saying that I was struggling with RPG Maker to make my indie game. And then everyone took it so personally. Everyone was like, it's a great engine. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. I love RPG Maker. But it has so many limitations that just make things like this an absolute nightmare. Truly the painful way of doing things. It kind of really is. It's not made for this. It is not even close. But also at the same time, it's why it kind of makes it a little bit more exciting, because it's not made for it, but the fact that I can make it do these things eventually is very exciting. It's like using Unreal to make a 2D pixel art game. It really is, but in the opposite direction, because Unreal is just like ridiculously overpowered, and it's like, oh my gosh, why would you use this to make this game? And then this is ridiculously underpowered, making you go, oh my gosh, why would you use this to make this game? Yeah, I get it. I made basically a game engine out of Minecraft through mods. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, people that have made like full-on games in Minecraft, I'm just like, what? But yeah, it is one of those things where it's like, can you do it? Yes. Is it impressive that you do it? Absolutely. Would it have been easier to make it in anything else? 100%. But the fact that it's cool and you can do it, that's what keeps me going. So, all right, so instead of using this script call right here, we're going to do something else. And that is going to be, we're going to say game screen. Should have kept that show picture. Yeah, it's going to be a little bizarre. Yeah, but it's going to be fine. It's going to be all right. Okay, so let's do, instead of the swapping picture, we're going to say game screen.show picture 29. We're going to say show the image to be, so we're not going to actually show, yeah, so let's change this. Because this is basically just setting the name of what you're calling this thing, which would normally be what we want to do. But here's what we actually want to do. We want to say we're going to do game screen dot picture 113 dot underscore, and I believe it's name. I think I could be very wrong on that. So let's come in here and let's take a quick peek, a quick gander, if you will. Okay, so now we want to say, open the console, and we're just going to say we're going to say game screen dot picture 113. This is the image stuff. So I think it is just name. Yeah, so it's dot underscore name. Yeah, so the name is already being stored on this image layer. So this is everything that's a part of image layer 113. So this is all the information about the image that we have. So we should be able to do that where we, basically just say, show the image layer, but instead of doing it based off of what the value of the card is, we're just saying, show image layer 29 with the name of game screen.picture 113 underscore name. Then you got the origin, the X and the Y, which the X and the Y should be, oh yeah, we don't actually need this move picture anymore. Okay, so the X and the Y, let's get rid of those, and we're just going to say, show it at 688, 620, 100, 100, 255. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, so it should show the image based off of 113's name. Yeah, and then we'll just erase all the image layers. Now we should be good. Oh my gosh. I'm now realizing why it erased the freaking... I know why it erased the image layer. This right here. This is literally this is overwriting what we just did. Oh boy. Okay. All right. We're making progress. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Limitation breeds creativity. That is, I live and die by that saying. Limitation breeds creativity. 100%. Okay, so yeah, so here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do a little bit more JavaScript. So essentially what we can do is we can say, what do we want to say? We want to say if game screen dot picture 29 dot underscore name. I don't know how RPG Maker is going to handle this. I think I could probably just say if game screen.picture29._name is equal to maybe null? I don't know if I need to say that or if I need to say null. I don't know. Let's find out. So if gamescreen.picture29._name is equal to null, then we will show this image. Gamescreen.showPicture29. We're gonna show this as, oh wait, I can just literally do this. I'm gonna say card. We need that in parentheses though. Card discard. Show it at 1, 688, 620, 100, 100, 255, 0. Okay, so that way, if there is no name, show the image. If there is though, then it won't ever do that again. Yeah, we'll see if that works. We'll see what happens there. Who knows? It's probably gonna error out. Let's see this thing error out, because I'm sure it's not null. Yeah, unexpected end of input. Actually, that might have just been me being stupid. Because it's probably not null. Wait. I think that's maybe. Okay, we're actually gonna try that and just see what happens. Them. Why make this game from this program? That usually is them. You. Why not? I mean, I'm pretty sure I have said those exact same words. Where yeah, people have just been like, why do this? And I go, why not? Because I can. I mean, it kind of technically lets me, so why not? Okay, so I think I just realized one of the issues. I did not put a closed curly bracket. That would potentially do it. So I think we also want to say that. Just in case you haven't realized yet, for anyone watching, for anyone new, I am not a JavaScript expert in the least. Cannot read property _name. Why? Is it because it needs to be null? You're equal to null? Maybe? I think maybe instead of just saying the name if it's null, I think what I need to do is just say if 29, but then not ._name. We just want to say if gamescreen.picture29 is equal to null. Undefined is not null. Oh, actually, yeah, you may be onto something. That might be the case. It might be that. It might be that. If you are undefined. I've never really checked to see if a picture is just not showing before. Oh! Well, there we go. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you for that. I would have been spinning my wheels for a while. The next step was going to be I would have pulled up the console and just been like, what does it say it is? Because basically what I can do is I can pull up the console here. Ooh, wait. That was a mistake. There we go. We can just say game screen dot picture. And we just do like, picture like 150. Okay. Then that would have eventually led me to be like, oh, undefined, not null. But I still would have been spinning my wheels for a little bit. So thank you. I appreciate that. The joys of working on JavaScript right now. And they're beautiful. It's beautiful. Just got finished, I think. Oh, nice. Very nice. Okay. So that means what I should be able to do is we can throw a jack over here. So you should remain a jack. And then we should be able to do 2. We should be able to do 10, 2, 10. That'll make us bust. The jack should remain a jack. Let's do a queen. We haven't done a queen yet. So then if we attack, it should throw all the cards down here. It should keep that and then draw a whole new set of cards. Hey, look at that. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Okay, so then if we do like a little bit of this, and then we do a little bit of... okay, 3. Whew. I was like, can I seriously not easily bust? All right, so 10, 3, 10. Now it should throw everything on top of here and then retain it with the 8. Let's see what happens. Yes! Oh my gosh. It's ridiculous that little things like this make me so happy, but they do, because they're not easy to do in RPG Maker. Not even a little bit, but that's what makes them worth it. That is what makes it worth it. Okay, so we don't necessarily have it to where the player is getting attacked yet, but it's easy enough to just throw it in here. I'm also going to clean that up later, because I don't want to have a friggin' long list of like erase, 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 erase. I can just, yeah, we'll make it better later. But for now, that is if you bust. Loops through that, calls it good after that. Now, this is if you actually attack. So, what do we need to do while we're attacking? That is a great question. So we need to take the pictures. We need to move them. So we basically need to take pictures, the image layers, based off of what has actually been used up in the sequence. And that is why we need to loop back through the sequence again at the end, because we would then move on to the next sequence after that. So what we can do is grab this loop here, and we can basically just recycle this again down here. So set 911 to equal 0, and we'll do +1. And then we'll say if game variables.value 781, that's the first one, right? 781. So variable 781 plus game variables dot value 911. Okay, so that would be no. We want to set you to be equal -1. That way, when you come in here and you add 1 to it, we can say 781 plus 911, so it would still be 781. So variable 781 is equal to 0. So if you remember, up here, when it is going through and establishing the sequences, if it is within that, small gap of has crossed over the AC threshold but is not busted yet, it will then take that variable value, throw it into your pool of draw power, and then we'll set that to equal 0. So what we can do with that is then down here we can then say if you're equal to 0, which means that card has been taken and added to the pool, then we can say the action. Although I'm now just realizing when we loop through this again, then we might actually need to use a different variable for this one. Yeah, we probably do. Axel says, I gotta go, Moon Man, but you'll enjoy my new song when you listen to it tomorrow. 5 Christmas songs. This album is to finish off the year. Very nice. Yeah, I am super excited to hear it. I've been listening to a ton of Christmas music over the past week since basically the end of Thanksgiving. So yeah, very excited for it. Axel, I do appreciate you being here. I will be sure to let you know what I think of the song. And yeah, hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your evening, and I will see you on the Tuesday stream. So till then, good luck. So the reason why I think I probably want to go off of something else. Yeah. So I need to move the images to where the monster would be and have them disappear. Let's see. Domino says to see if the game works how... Wait. To see if the game works how I, as you, think it might and could work. Wait, what? To see if the game works how I, as you, think it might and would work and could work. Oh, for your game? Is that what you're meaning? Let's see. Magma Guy says, I'm very happy with how this turned out. I might actually let it rest for today. So there you go. Yeah, if you are happy with how something you've been working on has finally finished up, just be like, don't go back and touch it. Because you're going to overthink things, and eventually you might be like, oh, what if I change this little thing here or change this thing over there? And then eventually you'll come back to me and you'll be like, Crap, I shouldn't have made those changes. Yeah, very nice. Is it was it a different part of your website you were working on? And if so, if you want to share which page you were on, because I would love to check it out. Yeah, very nice. That's weird. Okay. So we can either go based off of a different variable. Oh, the main page. Ooh, take a look. Let us take a look. Odin Games. That's just one big scrolling one. I'm sure this live demo will go great. Hey. Ooh. Ninja games, FPS games, medieval games. Ah. You tag it. Ooh, smokes. You made all of these changes like just now. Okay, I recognize this layout, but like all of this. Whew. Oh, we got the daily challenges, free to play. That is beautiful. You only saw one page of the website. I mean, that's fair, but even this page, I feel like this is not what it looked like before. Like you've got the new sections here. Maybe this was here, but I don't recognize these horizontal scrolling sections. Maybe there were. Maybe these divs were here, but like I don't remember them. But maybe my brain is not super great at remembering exactly what it looked like before. That's probably the case, honestly, actually. You didn't see the tabs? Well, I saw the tabs, but I feel like maybe I didn't. I think it was maybe, I don't remember. Maybe it was this Discover section that feels different. Now I feel like I'm losing my mind. So I spent the time between when you last visited and now making the tabs not needed. Okay. All right. Fair. There's also a lot when you click a game. Ooh, let's take a look at Warframe. Oh my gosh, you've got all the media too? What? Not bad, not bad. You got all the information over there. You got some similar games. Very nice, very nice. Click to view. Oh. Player count history. Holy smoke. This is so freaking good. Like this feels like it was created by like a massive team. Like it looks and feels so good. This is fantastic. Yeah, this one took a while to come up with. Yeah, no, and I would say you nailed it. Like the look and the feel, the like just everything about it, like the way it's all laid out, just looks and feels so good. Like, yeah, extremely professional looking and feeling. It's just all. Oh my gosh, I love the hover states. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Yeah, very well done. 2 thumbs up from me. Tabletop games. I do love me a good tabletop game. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna be scrolling through that thing for a while. Nah, it was me since last Sunday. Wait, you came up with that design since last Sunday? Oh yeah. You mean just yourself? Yeah, 100. And that is crazy. All of that since last Sunday. Jeez. That is impressive. That is extremely impressive. Meanwhile, I'm over here just trying to do like little things here and there. It just looks terrible. I mean, the whole thing from scratch starting on a Sunday. Jeez. That is insane. All of that in a week. Raise a glass. That is insane. All right. So the attack. What can we go off? We don't want to loop through every single time. Because basically what we need to do, we do need to have this thing loop through, but I don't want it to loop through moving the cards. Because once it's moved the cards once, if I tell it to move the cards again, it runs into problems. Because the cards don't exist. And the wait times would kind of mess things up. Yeah, had 3 24-hour work days in there. I can see it. I can see it. Oh my gosh. Now I can rest. Seems usable. It seems very usable. I would say you deserve a rest. After getting something like that up in a week, 100% deserving of a rest. 100%. Yeah, so I want to be able to move the cards when you go to attack. And I only want to move the cards that are at 0 value, which is exactly what we have right now. As it puts the cards out, it would then assign a 0 card value to any one of these. And so when you click to go and attack, I want it to take the value of each one of the cards. And if it's equal to 0, move those cards over, hit a monster. They can just disappear there. I don't need them anymore. They can just disappear. So I think what we can then say Lazarla! Welcome back. Welcome back, Lazarla. I feel like it has been so long. How's life for you? How has your week been? Hopefully it's been good for you. How's life in general? I feel like it's been long enough. We can get a life update. How is life? Domino says, exactly. Oh, okay. I mean, assuming I know what you're asking then, Domino. Yeah, to see if the game works how I, as you, think it might and could work. Are you wanting my opinion on stuff like that? Is that, like, on your game? 'Cause I would absolutely love to kind of see what's going on, see how it all functions, stuff like that. If that is not at all what you're meaning, though, I apologize. I feel like I am sometimes horrible at remembering / understanding what is being asked, and that is my bad. That is my own bad. Let's see. Lazaro says, love the new designs of the cards. I'm glad you got the element designs worked out. Thank you. Yeah, I decided to redo the design of the cards. One, because I felt like the old design just didn't feel quite right. And we're also kind of redoing how the combat works to make it a little bit more fun, engaging, hopefully exciting. Well, hopefully more fun, hopefully more engaging, hopefully more exciting. We'll see what happens. Moving into my first apartment next month if I get accepted. Hey, that is super exciting. Yeah, congratulations. I'm going to cross my fingers. If you do, I hope that nothing goes wrong there. Yeah, that would be super exciting. Yeah, fingers crossed for you. Fingers crossed. Next month. Are you meaning like in December or like beginning of the year? Either way would be super exciting. Thank you. I will have a roommate, my BFF of a few years with me on this journey. Yeah, that is super exciting. Is this your best friend that came and stayed with you that one time, like months ago, you were talking about? Or is this someone else? She's rented a room in some guy's house before, but this will be her first time on her own. Very nice. Yeah, that's super exciting then. Yeah, well, yeah, very, very big steps, very exciting stuff. I hope that, again, fingers crossed that you do get accepted, that everything goes well there. You can move in, that it'll just be an absolute blast of a time. Super exciting stuff. Very exciting. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to keep us up to date so we can kind of know / congratulate you when that does happen. I'm gonna say when and not if, because I've got a positive vibe going here for you. Okay. So I think what we can do is we can just say, I'm trying to keep my brain focused. It is not wanting to focus. So we can say, if 781 plus 911 is equal to 0, that means that it is a card that was used in the pool. I think we also want to say, let's do this. Let's do this. So we also want this other spot right here we just set up. And then just because I know the wait times using JavaScript in RPG Maker can be very weird. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do our own conditional branch here, which is basically just an if statement. But it works a little bit better. So let's do that. Let's also throw in this guy. Leave it to Axel to always make absolute bangers. So the first one is if game variables.value 781 plus, excuse me, 911 is equal to 0, and if game screen.picture, we're going to do the same thing here. 911, you are equal to, no, we want to say if you are not equal to undefined. So long as the image is still there and it is equal to 0. That means the card's still there, but it needs to be used. Okay, then we got 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. Wow. Okay, so we are missing some stuff. So I believe before... we got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is not equal to undefined. Then what we can do is we can then move image. Okay, so we actually don't need that. We just need move picture. That's the one. Move picture number 101 plus 911 equal 640. And then we're kind of centering it a bit. Let's say... let's move you to, like, I don't know, here-ish. Sure. That's 640 by 230. 230. Move that in like 10 frames. We'll wait the full 10 frames. Then what we need to do, we then need to activate the monster being attacked. Player damage, room decor animations. Card draws / attack. Ooh, okay. So it does all of this stuff. So this is the old combat system. Player being damaged, spike damage end, player death. We'll draw. I think it might be in the event that's monster animations, menu item / skill tree, room animations, player damage, monster card draws. Maybe not. There we go, monster animation. Hit monster. Okay. Dead monster. We want to turn on hit monster. 14. For now, though, just to keep it simple, just because I don't... we're probably going to have to redo all of that quite a bit as well. Let's just say it moves the picture, and then at that point, just kind of flash the screen red with very low intensity for like 5. Call it super simple. And the general idea is it will loop through that all 13 times, but it only does it if it needs to move a card. And when it does that, we can then erase image layer 101. At the end of that, at the end of that, we then need to say script erase game variables dot value 781 plus game variables dot value 911. Pretty sure that's right. 781. Oh, wait. No. 101. 101. Image layer 101 plus 911. There we go. Okay, so we also need to get rid of that. My bad. Let's just erase image layer 101 plus game variables dot value 911. So we got 1, 2. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Now it should do that until it eventually either gets all the way to the end or busts. Pretty sure. Now the question is, so it breaks out of that loop and then it repeats above. Now where is it repeating again? It should go back up to here, which then goes up to here, so that it reprocesses everything. I think. Okay, so let's just tell it to wait for like 60 frames here. Lazarla says, I'm going to lurk now. Have a nice stream. Lazarla, I appreciate you being here. Hopefully you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your evening. And yeah, I appreciate the lurk. And hopefully we'll see you on the next one. I hope. Fingers crossed. Either way, whenever you pop back in, I hope to hear about the apartment. Fingers crossed. Okay, so let's not bust. Let's stick to 14. So we got 10 and then 9. So it should take these two cards, pause for a little bit, and then as far as I know, take the next few cards. Let's see what happens. Crap. Okay. Well, establish sequences. That should be all of this stuff here. Okay. So it's trying to show image layer. It was trying to show image card 0-0, which would tell me that it's trying to show an image that has 0 correlating variables to it. As far as I know, we should have been in here. What if we flash this screen green? I just want to see if we're getting within that attacking condition. All right, so 9. We'll go with 10. 10 and 9, so that'd be 19. Okay, now if we attack, it goes green. Okay, so we are getting within that condition. We're going to set 911 to equal -1. Then we jump in here to this loop. We say +1. Okay, so then we're saying if 781, variable 781 plus 911, so that should be 781 plus 0 if you are equal to 0. And if game screen picture 781 plus 911 is not equal to undefined, Then we want to say move image layer 101 plus 911, which would still be image layer 101. So the question is, why is it not moving that image layer? So I guess the question then is, are we getting into this spot here? Flash blue if we are. We should go green, blue. But my guess is we're not going blue. So we got 10, 18. Green. Green. Okay. So we're not actually getting into that condition. Why? Let's see. Domino says that was referencing to the statement of why design this game on this program, and in turn, why not, and to add to see if you could make it your roguelike RPG development might or could work with limit. Program resources. Okay, gotcha. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I just want to see. I want to see if I can do it. And if I can, I want to push it to the limit. Push it to the limit. Yeah, good old autocorrect. Protocap says, by the way, do you do all the art yourself? So there have been a few icons and things like that created by others in the community that it's been absolutely fantastic to have. But for the most part, I would say like 98 to 99% has been me. I have, for full disclosure, for anyone, if anyone would have an issue with this, full disclosure, there have been a few things that I have generated with AI for inspiration and then have like redrawn myself. Let's see. I think the biggest one that I needed inspiration on was, if we come over here to the town, I needed inspiration on the interior right here. So I could not get this interior to save my life. So I did originally, so it's like I made the town, and then I was making like these little scenes here. So like if you've ever played like any old like Sierra games, like King's Quest, Space Quest, and things like that, I'm mostly thinking of like King's Quest 6. Basically, like when you enter a shop, you would still see the town back here, but then you have just like this little speech dialogue bubble here where you would like see the person, a little bit of the interior, all that kind of fun stuff. Sounds like the original vibe that I was wanting to go for. And then after a while, I was like, I just could not. So I did that one, I did this one, and then I could not get the church working right. I feel like I wanted to get so much detail into it, but so I couldn't get it. And so I was like, after a while, I just kind of gave up. I was like, AI, this is what I'm thinking. Show me a picture like that. And so it, generated an image, and then I like repainted it in as pixel art. So there have been a couple scenes like that, like some monsters in the game. I was like, I'm just gonna generate some, old school retro looking monsters and then basically like trace over them with pixel art, kind of, essentially. Or not trace, like have it up on one monitor as I'm redrawing it on the other. So but yeah, so other than that though, basically everything else in the game was, so it's like this pauldron, me. I think this one was made by a viewer over on Twitch. His name is Nick. So he drew this, the scroll I drew. Yeah, then all the AI, all the UI elements, the backgrounds, the dice, all the player stuff, the cards. Yeah, all of that was made by me. I think that we did have, yes, one of our viewers on Twitch as well, I believe it was Devious Oatmeal, helped me recreate the dice, because the original dice that I had made were absolute garbage. And so he created a few new good designs that I picked up and used as well. Yeah, then other than that though, yeah, all the rest of it, stuff that I made, the skill tree, wow, that it makes it very broken, holy smokes. So yeah, so all the icons, the skill tree, all that stuff. So yeah, it's been a lot, but it's been fun. It's been fun. It's been nice to like be able to like flex and stretch my art muscles, because they were not good in the beginning. I still wouldn't say they're great, which is why I have chosen a retro pixel design, is because I feel like I can not feel as much pressure because I'm like, oh, well, you know, it's limited color palette, limited resolution, limited, you know, this, that, and the other thing. And so yeah, it's a little bit of like a shield for me to hide behind, but it's also like, I don't know. I enjoy making pixel art and stuff like that. I think it's fun. For inspiration, that's not so bad. Yeah, and that's the one thing too, is I'm just like, I never want to have anything in here be like directly AI generated, but I'm like, hey, if I need inspiration for like, you know, designs of monsters, designs of, you know, areas and things like that, I'm like, nah, I'll use it. I'm one that I'm like, I don't care too much because I'm like, well, one, I'm not an artist, like as much as I would like to be, I'm not an artist. I don't have money to pay for an artist, so it's either it's gonna look like hot garbage or it's gonna look like hot garbage that kind of has a little bit more design than I probably would have been able to think of on my own. So maybe one day, fingers crossed, if I can do well enough with this game and if it can sell enough, maybe on Tomb of Vercilias 2, I can strictly hire someone to just make the art. And I'll be like, here you go. Here's, you know, thousands of dollars and I can pay you to make all the art. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Magma Guy says, gasp. Fun fact, on the website you just saw, I didn't write a single line of code, all Claude. I told it what to do, how to do it, and told it how to fix it, but it was all AI, just very specifically guided. That is absolutely, like that is incredible, actually. That is crazy. But I like that. I do like that you can use a tool like that to help just really streamline a project like that. So yeah, fantastic stuff. And honestly, like, as long as you can understand it enough to be able to like correct it and implement it, like, it's not, you know, it's not that bad. I know some people will think differently, but I don't think it's that bad. So yeah, Domino says, yes, all hand-drawn with Bic ink, black pens, isometric perspective view on 14-inch by 21-inch white poster boards, and color them by hand for the best knowledge of the art scheme. That is, see, here's the thing. See, you can't fake that with AI, which is absolutely beautiful. The 10 pictures are just 10 of 30 play mats so far I put on my YouTube channel. I do all my own art stuff, but like your style, it's neat looking. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Thank you, all Playmats Connect. If you're on the Wood Games Discord channel, I'll check out your art as well. Yeah. If you do look for artists, let me know. I think it would be cool to add stuff to this. Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing, like, honestly, it is a 100% completely open call. If there's anything you want to make, you know, obviously, like, trying to keep it in this style where it's like, you know, retro, old school, simple color palette. I can even share the color palette. I need to share the newer color palette that I've just created. But yeah, so like super, you know, simple color palette, simple design. If there's anything you want to try and make, you know, I mean, most of the stuff is pretty set in stone as far as like the card design. You know, I'm pretty set on that. The dice themselves, you know, so there are things that are pretty set in stone. But like, you know, if there's things like in the rooms here, because I guess I haven't really shown too much. It's kind of mostly just been focused on getting through all this stuff. So if I come in here and I turn this off, if I turn this on, set that back up to 3. Ah, crap. Forgot that I started myself in the town. But yeah, so as you go along, you may notice, like, you know, so like in this room, there's like cracks on the bricks. Over here in this room, there's no decorations. So basically what I'm doing is I've created a bunch of decorations that just like show on top of the walls to like try and add like a little bit of depth and different design to the walls. Also, I need to take this guy out. Also, the monster's here. So this monster, I was just like, you know, generate I can't remember what the prompt was. It was basically just like forward-facing retro JRPG monster, and it just, you know, spat out a handful of them that I, you know, recreated in pixel art. But anyway, yeah. So it's like if you wanted to make some monsters, which would basically just like follow this same design where it's like, you know, forward-facing action stance kind of a thing, would absolutely love something like that. If you wanted to make something like that, if you wanted to create different decorations for these rooms, so I'm, you know, trying to show examples. If I can freaking show examples, I feel like this has been absolutely terrible for example showing. Yeah, so basically, yeah, so things like, you know, the cracks in the walls. We've got oh my gosh, just show me more of the decorations, game. We got vines on the walls. There's like, you know, a set of torches. So I'm, you know, trying to get any and all decorations that I can add to these rooms. So yeah, so I am kind of tempted to potentially add maybe like a couple different like canvases, essentially, where it's like you want to make decorations, here's a canvas that you can make the decorations on top of. If you want to make monsters, here's like a general guide to making the monsters. And then, yeah, and then if anyone wants to add it to the game, I can't promise there will be any kind of like profit sharing, just because like I'm honestly anticipating maybe like 5 to 10 copies max of this game selling, which like I would absolutely love if I could sell 5 to 10 copies. Yeah, so you know, can't really say like, oh, there's gonna be some like crazy profit sharing for like any art shared. But like, you know, obviously like there would be, you know, credit, you know, all that fun stuff, highlights and things like that. Yeah. So if there's anything that you wanted to, you know, throw in, like I would absolutely love it. If not, that's totally fine. And yeah, but again, like I was saying, the hope would be maybe if this game can do well enough, I would absolutely love to do Tomb of Vercilias 2 or whatever game it is that I'm going to make next, and I would love to be able to hire an artist or 2 artists or however many I can get, and have, you know, people be able to make the art, you know, people that are actually good at making art, and then I can just worry about just doing the actual programming itself. And yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I've done enough websites before. Good enough at JavaScript to at least recognize undefined at a glance. That's fair. That is fair. Should add moss and water damage. So we actually do have some moss-covered bricks. Somewhere along here, we're gonna have moss-covered bricks. Yeah. So we do have moss as well, and we've got. Oh, there we go. We got some moss. I do need to redo some of this stuff because I am updating the room itself. So some of this stuff is going to be redone. I mean, see it here. So I want to have different like shaded rooms and things like that. And along with that, I want to have different, let's see, greenery, moss. There we go. Oh, okay. So it's just the torch that's kind of ruining that. Yeah. So I want to have, you know, moss, the cracks, the vines. I want to have different torches and all sorts of crazy stuff. So yeah, so there will be a lot more that's eventually in the rooms to make it feel different and hopefully unique. It's not just going to be the gray brick as well. I want to have different floors have like different vibes and feels to it as well. You know, adding like, you know, water. I want to add like some of them have like poison damage and, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, there is so much more that I will be adding eventually as time goes on. But for now, it's just like getting all of the systems in place, making sure that they all work correctly. And yeah, that's kind of been the biggest thing, is like, because basically every single system has to be built from scratch. Because even though I'm using RPG Maker, which has a whole bunch of built-in systems, I basically can't use like any of them because none of them are what actually makes the game the game. So yeah, it's fun. It is fun. Let's see. Hootie Hen says, "Is this your dream game?" Yes, but no. There's definitely other games that I'm like, I will not feel satisfied with like my game dev journey until I make them. So yeah, but this is definitely one on a list of games that I do want to make. Yeah, so I've always wanted to make a dungeon crawling roguelike. Would absolutely, you know, 100% want to do that. I've always wanted to make a like a cozy survival game. I've always wanted to make one of those. I've always wanted to make some kind of like strategy game. I've always wanted to make some kind of horror game. Yeah, there's like all sorts of genres and different kinds of games that I'm just like, I would love to make a game like this one day. But yeah, so this would definitely be one of probably half a dozen games that I'm like, one of these days I will make a game like this. So yes, partially, it is one of my dream games to make. You get 3 10x10 sprites. I get 75% of the gross revenue. There we go. Yes, absolutely. If you do look for artists, yeah, let me know. I'll throw some stuff in your art channel to show off. Hey, yeah, I would absolutely love to look at it. Gotcha, Moonwood. Gotcha, Protocap. Hesitant, yes. Very hesitant. Because yeah, it's like, the answer is yes, partially. Because yeah, it's it definitely is a game that I've always wanted to make. And obviously, you know, I've spent almost a year now working on this game. I was like, you know, if it wasn't one of my dream games to make, I probably would have stopped by now. Yeah, so it is a dream, but there are still more out there that I'm like, I will need to make this game so that I can feel like I've actually accomplished my game dev journey. Well, and the ultimate goal is to turn Moonwood Studios into a multi-billion-dollar game studio, right? So, you know, until I get to that point as well, then I have failed. I have failed until I've reached that goal. Added your game to the special thanks section of the website for all the good that we'll do. Wow, I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. It is going to do so much good, especially because I'm going to be spreading that website like wildfire as far as I possibly can. And so hopefully all those people that I spread it with will also spread it with people. And slowly but surely, it'll grow and grow. It should be absolutely fantastic. Okay, so let's find out why the freak is it not getting into that other conditional section. The other if statement, if you will. So it's for some reason not actually doing... Okay, so if game variables.value 781 plus 911, which would be 781 for this first one. So if 781 is equal to 0. And that's basically what it should be, correct? So we flash green. We should at that point now have any and all that needed to be in here. Yeah, so we got 6, 8. Yes. It just goes to show how horrible at math I am. Okay, so if we click on that, we should be in green. Which means if we come over here, 781 are equal to 0. Yes. So why then? The conditions are, if that variable is equal to 0, what is 911 at? 911 is equal to 13. Still equal to 13. Okay, that's peculiar. You should be setting 911 to equal -1. And then we loop through here. +1. Then it breaks the loop. Really quickly, I'm going to set this to be pink, sure. So when it flashes green, it's still going to be at 13. And then it should flash pink. Yeah, so you're currently equal to 9. So if I do this... Crap. I busted. Okay, so that should be 19. Okay. That should be 13. Okay. Apparently if you bust once, things are messed up, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, we got 2 aces. That's gonna be a problem. There we go, 19. Okay, so it flashes green. 911 is currently equal to 13. And it should flash pink. You're now equal to 0. 1. 2. Okay, so that is working correctly. 781 is 0, 0. Okay, so it's... What freak is happening here? That means it's just completely bypassing this. Game variables dot value 781 plus 911, so that would have been plus 0, which would be 781 and 782. So if you're equal to 0, and if game screen dot picture 781 plus 911 is not equal to undefined. Okay, so what if we just get rid of that second part for now? So I just want to see, because it should be equal to 0. Get rid of the pink. Okay, so it should flash green and then blue. I hope. See what happens. All right, let's do 9 and 6. Green. Oh, And blue. Hey, look at that. It's actually doing a thing. Okay, cool. All right, so what? Why then? Why is that freaking out? Why are you freaking out? You're equal to 0, and if game screen dot picture is not equal to undefined. I just have... No, because it should be throwing an error if I have something in here incorrectly. Got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's so we got 10, 15. Okay. See, Domino says, oh, horror. I used to be a paranormal investigator and a security officer many years ago. And yes, I have seen my fair share of actual paranormal stuff. Did I ever run? Only once. That's for another story. That's fair. I feel like I would have run a lot. But horror and paranormal are two different subjects. But still, when the time comes, Moonwood, let me know if you need some inspiration. Absolutely love some inspiration. Yeah, I've only ever had one time in my life where I dealt with trying to think of the best way to describe it. With a ghost, with a terrifying entity. And luckily I only heard the stories of it. So, but I was in the house as the people were telling me about it. So, yeah, not good stuff. Not good stuff. It was actually, yeah. Probably like the most disturbed I had ever been in my life. Very, very terrifying stuff. Yeah, it's good times. Good times. Let's see. Devious Oatmeal says, we spreading viruses? Count me in. Yes, we are. Yes, we are, Devious Oatmeal. We're gonna go out and spread some viruses. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Magma Guy says, if you tell 10 friends, and they tell 10 friends, and they tell 10 friends, then soon we'll be cloning people to tell about this cool website of mine. Exactly. I mean, it sounds a little bit like a pyramid scheme, but we should be fine. Should be all right. So, why in the freaking crap? I don't understand, because like it's literally the exact same thing. Yeah, I do not. This is just saying if game screen dot picture 29 equal to undefined. Like, unless I have some weird parenthesis somewhere that's, like, basically negating it. But it should be game screen, if game screen dot picture, and then in parentheses, 781 plus. Is it because I have... No, because I also have this in parentheses, right? I mean, that's in parentheses, and that's working just fine. So I don't get why, if I come over here, and I pull this up, and then if I don't bust, so if I do a 10 and a 14, and if I click, nothing. Never goes in there, even though I have no idea. Not a clue. Not a clue. Let's see. Chess F says, may I ask your opinion about parallax mapping? Absolutely, you may. Are you wanting my opinion on if it's good? Or what kind of opinion are you looking for? So I'd absolutely love to share. I just realized what the problem is. This is a variable, 781. This should be the image layer, not the variable. Gosh. I am so stupid. Look at how stupid I am. For now, I should be able to do this. If I do a 10 and a 6, that should be 16. So if I click on here, it should do wha-bam, wha-bam. Yeah! Oh, finally! Holy smokes, that was an absolute nightmare. Oh, I finally found it. Holy crap. That was... Well. Chess says, is it good? Is it better than the normal mapping? How's it compared to the normal mapping? So, I would say, depending on... this kind of depends on which version of RPG Maker you're using. I'm going to assume you're probably using either MV or MZ. I mean, it still works well enough on, VX Ace, XP even. I mean, I guess you could even still technically do it in 2000 and 2003. Here's what I would say. If you are wanting your project to not look like other RPG Maker projects, parallax mapping is probably going to be the best way for you to get the most amount of detail while making your game not look like it's an RPG Maker. And this is... Because here's my thing. I love to use RPG Maker. It's what I use. It's what I know. It's what I've been using for like 25 or so years. And basically my goal when I use RPG Maker is I try to make my game not look like it was made in RPG Maker. So anything that I can do to make my game not look like it was made in RPG Maker, I will probably do. So when it comes to if you're creating a top-down, JRPG, which is basically what RPG Maker is made for, if you are doing that, I would 100% recommend do parallax mapping. You can do some really cool, crazy things with parallax mapping, and it just, the amount of cool details you can get from parallax mapping, plus just you can make it look so different from how RPG Maker games look. It really takes your game to a whole new level if you can do a parallax mapping. But it does take a lot more time because you have to spend so much more time creating each map in some kind of different program, and then you export it, and then you have to import it into RPG Maker, and then you have to build the actual collision map based off of that stuff. So, I would say if you are a solo developer, only do it if you have either a fairly smaller project you're working on, or if you don't mind if your project's going to take forever. Just because it does take a lot more time to create a parallax map, because not only are you having to handcraft it in a different art program, but then you're having to then create every single collision yourself. I know there are some plugins for parallax mapping that make it slightly easier, but in general, it does take a lot more time. So just keep that in mind when you're doing it. So try to make sure you're not letting it get out of hand too much. But yeah, in terms of making your game stand out and make it look nothing like RPG Maker games, could not recommend enough. A good middle ground that I could recommend, if you didn't want to go as far as, going all, through the crazy stuff of doing all the parallax mapping, is going in and editing the tile sets yourself. Offsetting things, swapping out certain things with other things you've created, whatever it may be. Trying to go in that direction of basically creating your own tile set is a great middle step to making it not look like RPG Maker, but having it feel more like your own thing, but without having to go all the way crazy of doing all the parallax mapping. I just like using normal mapping because how limited it is for placing the objects to a grid. True. Yeah, and like RPG Maker MZ kind of helps a little bit with that because you can actually change the grid size in RPG Maker MZ. I think you can go as low as 16 pixels, I think that sounds about right. 16 pixels. Yeah, so yeah, that's what or maybe it's 12. I think it's 48. No, I think you could do 64. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, so you can change the grid size in RPG Maker MZ. But yeah, so that's what I would recommend. If you're okay with spending a whole bunch of time, tons of time making the art, the assets, going through and creating all the collision maps and stuff like that, doing the parallax mapping is an absolutely fantastic way to make your game stand out, makes it look beautiful. The amount of work that some people have put into their parallax mapping and the way that it looks is just mind-blowing to me sometimes. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this is incredible, it's beautiful. But if you're wanting to kind of like find that little middle ground, is I would say go through, kind of create your own tile sets, change little bits here and there, offset things a little bit so like it still aligns to the grid, but like doesn't look like it aligns to the grid is another great way to go. Another way that you could make things a little bit better is there are lots of plugins out there that allow you to have like pixel movement, which basically just turns, it separates the 48 pixel grid pattern, and you can divide it into however many chunks you want. I think I found one where like you can actually go in and you can say, hey, I want to divide this 48 pixel block it 48 times, whereas like every single time you press up, the character literally just goes 1 pixel over, and that was really cool. It still kind of runs into the issue because you have to like actually build the map to the pixel grid, but it makes the movement kind of fun. So anyway, all that said, parallax mapping, absolutely fantastic, takes a lot of work, but is well worth it in the end if you can make it look good. But if you want a good in-between, I would recommend going with something like just editing the tile set yourself, and then just kind of like offsetting different things here and there to make it look like it's not all locked to a... I enjoy the process of making the maps itself. There you go. Yeah, and so the parallax would be really good for something like that.
Thanks for the follow, chess_f.
Thank you for the follow. I do appreciate that. I use Q movement for pixel movement. Q movement is absolutely fantastic. I do love Q movement. Yeah, there's been a couple different ones that I've tried, mostly trying to do weird things with the engine, and they didn't work out for me. But in terms of just like, top-down JRPGs, absolutely fantastic stuff with Q movement. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Hopefully that's answered your question for you. I would highly recommend, because parallax mapping is beautiful if you're able to do it right, and I could not recommend it enough. I've only done parallax mapping a couple times, and the few times that I did it, it turned out okay. It was mostly the last one that I did that it actually looked okay, because I was a little bit more experienced with trying to do it. So if you've never done parallax mapping before, here's what I would actually recommend. Here's my final recommendation. So I would say, yes, do parallax mapping. Just keep in mind it's going to take a lot of work. Here's my recommendation for doing parallax mapping, though. Do not start just creating maps like that you're going to use in your game. Start just by making a handful of just like fun, maybe goofy, maybe serious, like try out like different ways to decorate, different ways to do lighting,
experiment with it. Make sure, there we go. Make sure that you are familiar and that you feel like you know what you're doing with the parallax mapping. That way, when it comes time to actually start creating your maps, you have a lot more experience.
And you can jump into it and feel like you're actually doing things correct.
Pixel_Benedict turned Moonman into a PNG.
Yeah, you have. I mean, you will eventually, once I get there. Because I think it's still... Oh, there we go. Yep, it cues it. Still cues.
Good times. Yay for the cues. Yay for the cues. I love it. Thank you, Axel, for all of that. Also, it looks like you are back. And guess what? I'm going to say you got a soda. You got a large Mountain Dew with extra ice. How close was I? I hope I was close. All right, so we've gotten not as much progress as I was hoping, but technically we do have it now to where if you line up the cards and if you bust, let's see, so we're gonna go with XX7. That will make us bust. So if you bust, it will then... I'm an idiot. X and X is... Yeah. Whoa. Okay, it's still very buggy, very broken, very not good. Okay, we've gotten it now to where if you line up the cards, let me do it correctly this time. We're gonna do king, and we're gonna do a 2 and then another 10. Whoops. So we made it so you can bust, discards all the cards, draws a new hand for you. Fantastic stuff. It does seem to be still kind of broken when you do that though, because even if I put a 5 here, that should be a 15. Yeah, then it still busts. So we are gonna have to figure that out. We're gonna figure that out. But yeah, so we got the busting kind of working, most of the way working, and we also got the first steps to actually making it so you can, you know, actually attack. So we got a 10, we got a 5. So then if we stand here, we then attack. Yeah. So we're making progress slowly but surely, but it's woo, so buggy, so broken. But yeah, that is yeah. So I think I'm gonna try working on it a little bit more off stream between you know, tomorrow and the next stream on Tuesday. But yeah, I think on the next stream I should have a little bit more of the bugs worked out just a little bit, and so we should be able to make more progress on the next stream and hopefully get the rest of this combat system implemented so we can actually get it in there, and then yeah, we should be good. Oh, I also just did remember, I never really showed this on the stream until now that I'm realizing it. So on the previous stream, we were working on getting the exit puzzles working. And so if we come over here, we now have it. So, all right, let me go find the exit. So if we go over here, there we go. So we got the exit. We now have it to where I've added the trap to the exit room. So that way, if you fail the puzzle, you will then take damage. So if we interact with the glyphs, it will then pull up the puzzle. So let's do the little puzzle here. Let's see. I think on this first one, I'm going to make it so I lose, so you can kind of see what happens. So if I fail this one, if I run out of my time, it will then take me out of the puzzle, and then the spikes go up, they attack me, and then I can try again if I want. And then they reset every single time. So basically the punishment is you will take some type of trap damage if you fail the puzzle. But if you actually finish it, so let's do this. Oh gosh, I'm even any good at this. Come on. There we go. It'll dim, that'll all activate there. Bada bing, bada boom, and then you're able to exit. You can also leave the room, come back, leave the room, come back, all that fun stuff. And yeah, and then you can go through the portal and you'll go on to the next floor. So technically, the exit floor is working. I just need to add a couple more puzzles. So maybe we'll do a couple more puzzles on stream. I might just do those off stream. Who knows? We'll see. The biggest reason why I do stuff on stream is because that's generally when I have more time. But there are some things, if they are tedious things that I'm working on, I do try to get those off stream just because it's like, do I really want you guys to sit through the tedium? Not really. So I'll try and do the tedious things off stream, which is why I'm saying that I will probably be taking care of the rest of this freaking thing. Not the rest of it, but the bulk of the frustrating parts off stream, because again, it's just frustrating and tedious, and I'm just like, okay, I'm getting there, but we're still not quite there. So that is probably what I'm going to be working on a little bit off stream between today, tomorrow, and Tuesday. So yeah, good time. Good times. Axel says, I did get a soda. I tried out the new Coca-Cola creamy vanilla flavor. Oh, so I was part right. Was it any good? I'm usually not a huge Coke fan, but that actually does sound really good. Creamy vanilla, not bad. But from now on, my new albums have a new thumbnail artist. Ooh, actually, that is super exciting. I am very excited to see that. Are you going to be going through and updating the previous thumbnails, or are you going to be keeping the ones you've got? Let's see. Okay, all right. I was just making sure that I didn't fall behind on the YouTube chat. Anyway, cool. Well, I think that's probably going to be where we're going to end the stream today. Again, we got some stuff done. Not exactly as much as I was hoping, but we do have some stuff done, and we are making progress. We're going to get there one of these days. Just going to take a little bit of time. That's all. A little bit of time, and then we will get there. But for now, I'm feeling pretty happy with how it's feeling. I mean, you know, obviously there's still a lot of work to do with the cards, so we'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, I do feel like it's going to feel pretty good. So I think what we're going to do is once I get all of the logic behind getting it so that it can actually, you know, take the value of each of the sequences and then add those together, we can basically take that same logic and apply it to when you're hovering over these sections. It will show you what those sections are worth. So hopefully that'll make it easier to, like, figure, you know, what the actual value is going to be as you're dragging these along and being like, oh yeah, you know, if I have this and this, it's a 17, which is like easy enough to figure out there. But like, you know, if it's 7 plus 9, again, kind of like we talked about, trying to do a whole bunch of math, not exactly the most entertaining thing all the time. So yeah, so, you know, eventually get it to the point where the game will do most of the math for you, so you don't have to sit there and like be counting cards and be like, okay, so if this card's here and this card's there, then that is there. Then as soon as you move one card, there go all your calculations. So yeah, good times, good times. Axel says, no, all the prior thumbnails will stay the same. It's where I started. It tells the story of how I used to do things. That's fair. That is fair. Yeah, and definitely was not saying that you need to. I was just wondering if like those were all going to be swapped out, because I was like, that's going to be a lot of thumbnails to do. But yeah, very exciting. Jacksepticeye's first video is still him doing a Solid Snake impression from almost 20 years ago. Sorry, 13 years ago. I was like, holy smokes, 20 years ago? Like, I'm like, I know that he was one of the OGs, but 2005? That didn't seem right. But that's fair. That's fair. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, yeah, actually, I am super excited. Wait. So is your current newest thumbnail, the winter one, is that from the new artist? Or are you going to be, is it going to be going forward, you're going to have a new artist? See, got some hair in my mouth. Domino says, keep up the great work, sir. Thank you, Domino. I appreciate that. I am very excited to see where your project's going. Yeah, super excited to see updates. Very excited and glad you jumped in here so I could learn about it. Because yeah, it's one of those things that's it's really hard to know what's out there because there's so much out there. So I'm glad that you were here. I'm glad that you commented. I'm glad that I took a look at your profile. And yeah, very excited to see what's going on there. Magma Guy says, good stream. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Yeah. So the next stream is going to be on Tuesday. So 48 hours from now is when the next stream is going up. And well, I mean, I'll have it scheduled. If you're over on Twitch, I do have my schedule up on there, so you can see the schedule there. If you're over on YouTube, I will be scheduling a stream. So if you're subscribed, you should see that. If not, then you can just go to the channel.
Thanks for the follow, Magma Guy.
Magma Guy, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you. And Axel says, no, that's from someone else. This is going to be a forward change. Fair. Well, I'm very excited to see all the changes, Axel. Very excited. All right, everybody. Well, that's going to be the end of it. So hope everyone had an absolute fantastic time. I hope everyone has a great rest of your evenings, mornings, days, wherever it may be in this world. We are going to be doing a raid over here on Twitch. So if you have anyone in mind that you would like us to raid, make sure to throw it in the chat. Yeah, so I hope everyone has an absolutely fantastic evening. We'll see you all in the next stream on Tuesday. And yeah, until then, I hope you all have a good time. Good luck. If you're not in Monday, good luck with your Monday tomorrow. If you already are, I hope that you have a good rest of your Monday. And I'm going to sleep. I'm just rambling now. So goodbye.